the show. Quite frankly, more people see it. I think you just got a sneak preview. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're doing well. We all made it. Another weekend is in the books. Great to be with you. On today's show, among other things, I want to talk about a video that has been circulating here locally. And by locally, I mean in like the Springdale, Cincinnati area. And a man was arrested and tasered. And my question for you is it justified? It seems to be, at least in terms of social media circles, some conversation about whether you think that this was justified. I'm not sure if you got a chance to watch this video, but I'll play it for you as soon as the show starts. And this was taken in Springdale, Ohio. Apparently, there's a place called Sky Zone. I've never been there. I don't believe I've been to Sky Zone. I think the wifey took the kids there once. I wasn't with them on that particular excursion, that family excursion. So I don't think I've ever been there before. Is it like a bunch of trampolines and like stuff like that? I think that's what it is. I'm not really sure. Hey, good morning to you from Fairfield. Good morning to you, Brenda. I think that's what it is. But I want to play the video. You tell me what you think. Were the police justified? Did they have to do that man that way? That's essentially what I want to talk about with you, at least for the first hour as we get things started. 513-873-7134. This is the Nathan Ivy Show. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And as always, it is my pleasure to be with you. It is my absolute pleasure. Hopefully you had a great and relaxing weekend. I know I did. Let's talk. Let's get into it. What's up, Tiff? What's up, Renee? What's up, Brenda? Good morning, everybody. Let's talk. Let's talk. What's on your mind? What's been happening? What's been happening? What did we miss? Have I missed anything? No, I don't believe I have. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. To all the early risers. Again, early risers rule this world. Got to get up early so you can outwork the competition. Simple as that. What you sleeping for? Sleep when you're dead. Seemed to work for Puffy. Should be good enough for you and me. It should be good. Good morning to you. 513, again, 873-7134. I've got winners to announce this morning. You know, for the last week, but by we, I mean the Nathan Ivy Show and the folks over at imgbat.com. That is a online handcrafted jewelry and art store. We've been playing something called Mystery History. And it's really simple. All you have to do is listen to the clue and then put the name of the individual, the correct name. And many people did just that. And so I pulled the winners over the weekend, and I'm going to announce the winners. We'll start at about like 8 a.m. this morning. We'll give it a chance for everybody to get on. I want to make sure the winners who they're going to hear about it live. And then I'll be in contact with all the winners directly after the show. Again, this is all courtesy to good folks at imgbat.com. The first prize is a $50 gift certificate that can be used toward a purchase at anything at their online jewelry store, which, again, there's a link in today's description. You can check it out for yourself. The two second place prizes are 15% gift, 15% off toward any purchase at imgbat.com. So we did this about a week. I enjoyed playing Mystery History. As a matter of fact, I might even expand this, actually. This could be pretty dope. But Mystery History is the game where you can learn something about history and learn prizes at the same time. It's real simple. It's called Mystery History. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. So I played the clue for you at least once every show day since last Friday. And then, of course, this image right here, along with an audio file, is on my Facebook page, The Nathan Ivy Show. Now, it closed down after the show. We had some late stragglers, but I ain't gonna work. I was very specific about what we were looking for in the time frames and the kind constraints. So at 8 a.m., we'll announce the winners. Hopefully the winners will be in the house. If not, I'll reach out to you via social media directly and make sure you know how to redeem your prize. Props to the folks over at imgbat.com for making the game, for providing the prizes and making the game possible. Mystery History. I think it was pretty easy. As I looked at the answers, I mean, almost everybody got it right. Again, I wasn't trying to fool you on this one. We'll get a little bit more obscure, a little more difficult in the near future, but I'll announce the winners sometime in the 8 a.m. hour. At this point, I'm saying 8 a.m. That's a good time. That's a good time. 513-873-7134. Please like and share today's stream. Go ahead and hit me with that like. I appreciate you in advance. There we go. There we go. Yes, me. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Let me see. Where are we? Where are we this morning? What's up, family? There you go. I see people coming in. Good morning to you. Come on in. Come on in. Brenda writes, happy Monday. Tracy writes, hi. Mrs. Love being black writes, good morning, fellow beautiful smart choppers. Sharp is in the house. He writes, good morning, Nate and the choppers. Welcome to the first day of March. Ray writes here. Ashley writes, good morning, Nathan and the choppers from the Chop Shop. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Hope you're doing well. How many people have got a chance to see this video that's been circulating? Have you seen any of this? Oh, man, you got to watch this. This is worth your time. And in particular, you know, we have the conversations here. In particular, I want to know whether you think the police were justified in the way that they dealt with this situation. That's what I'd like to know. Okay, so I'm going to play this for you. And then I want you to tell me what you think. Now, the video is a little bit lengthy. I'm taking this from the Facebook page of the Springdale, Ohio Police Department. They posted this yesterday at 2:29 a.m. Somebody was up late. And I think they posted this because they were getting a lot of like strong opinions on social media because there was some bystanders that took a video. Not to put anybody's name out there, but I saw this. I didn't first see this from the Springdale, Ohio Police Department's page. I first saw this on a bystander's page, someone who just happened to be there. You know what I'm saying? And if you know anyone who was there that day, I'd like to get your thoughts about it. I want to get their thoughts about what they saw. I reached out to a few people, haven't gotten a response back yet. We'll see what happens. Okay. But I want to play this video for you because I think it's interesting for number one, is vital for the conversation. If you haven't seen it, you're not going to be able to give me an opinion. And I want your opinion this morning. It is your opinion that I'm looking for. Okay. So I'm going to play this for you, and it's kind of lengthy. I'm not going to play all of it. I'm going to jump around a little bit here or there. I don't want to play the whole damn thing. You can go find it online if you're really that interested in it and check it out for yourself. I think it's worth your time if you decide to go that route. I think it's worth your time. I'll say that. I think it's definitely worth your time. Let me see where we at. Okay, yeah. Let's do it this way. So, have you seen this? So, if you don't know what happened, so the Sky Zone again, I think I'll put it this way: it's a recreational place. People go there to have fun. Now, what the hell they do there, I don't really know. I'll be honest with you. I think you can like get on trampolines and shoot baskets and stuff like that. That's what I think. I think it's like a trampoline park, which is actually a pretty dope idea. I like the idea of it. And you could play something. I'm on their website right now. You could play something called Sky Slam. That sounds like fun. You could play dodgeball. Oh my God. Wait a minute. We should do a family outing. Let's go to Sky Zone. You know what I'm saying? Minus the police excursion, right? The police involvement. It sounds like it might be pretty. I'm sure kids love that. Yeah. My kids went there. They had a good time. I think I remember the wifey telling me. I wasn't there for that. So apparently a woman called the police on some domestic violence type stuff. Like some dude that she was involved with was doing something, physically intimidating her, had put his hands on her, something along that line. So the police show up, and when they show up, they observe a man and a woman leaving the woman's bathroom. And as it turns out, from what I saw in the video, and I've seen it several times now, from what I saw in the video, the young lady, the woman, when she sees the officer that responds, she says, that's him. Then all of a sudden, the dude is like, what's going on here? He tries to give him a name. Turns out it was a fake name. As it turns out, this man had warrants. And when you've got warrants in America, that means that the police can do whatever they want to do to you. You didn't know that? Yeah, that's what that means. When you have warrants in America, it doesn't matter what the police do. Anything they want to do, they can do. Okay, we're going to talk about another case as it relates to high-speed chases here in the city of Cincinnati. And what did the police find? Nothing but a bunch of marijuana. And it's like, some people have this mentality that no matter what the infraction is, it justifies whatever the police do. Oh, you were wrong. And I'm like, wait a minute, there's got to be levels to this. So we'll talk about that other case in a second. Police drive-by high-speed chases for marijuana in the city of Cincinnati. I would say no. Put me in the no category. But we'll talk about that probably during the second hour. Let's stay right now on what happened with the Springdale police. So I want to give you the backstory if you haven't heard about it. So the police are called. They show up. When the officer's walking in, you can clearly see all of this in the officer body cam. Then he's right next to the restrooms, and he sees a man and a woman leaving the female restroom. The woman walks out. She said, "That's him, that's him, that's him." And then boom, you got a face-to-face between this young brother and the police. And the officer's like, "Nah, you detained. You detained." You know what I'm saying? You're not under arrest, you're detained, which I'm not sure what's the difference between the two. Right? If I can't go anywhere, then doesn't that mean I must be under arrest? If I'm under arrest, start running them rights. Start running those rights. Didn't hear any of that, but that's just me. Well, you can check it out for yourself and tell me what you think, okay? So I'm going to play this for you, and I want you to tell me what you think. What do you think? Who is wrong?
Are you able to get the Nick Busters or wherever that was? Absolutely not. Right now I have no troubles breaking.
There, go ahead.
Yeah, April 24/7 vehicle trouble.
Did anybody get in here call?
There we have a Chief Sheriff.
Thank you.
25.
Hey,
Well,
this
21, you
you?
can disregard that. I'll be around over there with
What I do, baby?
just chill.
23.
What?
What's going on?
She said get him.
Hey.
What did I do?
Just chill.
I'm okay. What's wrong?
What's going on?
I'm about to separate. I got your keys. I'm gonna separate from her. My mama.
Don't reach. Hey.
My mother on the phone.
Okay.
Ma,
I'm
I
not.
got here.
I'm
Can
not.
I separate from you?
25.
I can go this way. She can go her way.
No.
Huh?
23.
I'm not
Baby, can I call
leaving.
my mother's on the phone? What did I do?
Just
She asked me.
just hang out.
What is she telling me to hang out for? I'm about to separate from
I guess they
her.
took care of the
She
they
came
run
in
over
the
the phone.
bathroom
She's
and blocked my
fine.
number. I didn't do
So
nothing. I
everybody
just stepped
sticks from
outside.
there.
My mother's on the phone. I'm not gonna be a problem.
25.
Mom,
On a route.
you got a ride? You got a ride, Mom?
Just stay there.
Okay.
You're not-
I'm about
you're
to
not
help.
leaving.
Why I'm not leaving?
You're not leaving.
Why not?
Until we sort this out, you're not leaving. Do you
Baby, can I just
understand?
go with my mom, please? Okay, thank you. Baby, just let me go with my mom. Okay, my mom on the phone. I love you. All right. Jeez. So I gotta sit right here. Huh? What you tell him, baby? I love you.
Here's
What you tell him? I was just sorry, man. Oh, hell, baby, I love you. All my feelings hurt, man. Look at me. Mom,
I'm
we
not
just having a
leaving you.
disagreement.
I'm not leaving you.
You're
Listen,
not
Want to
leaving?
be
I'm not
escape?
leaving? Where am I going? Baby.
just relax.
Okay, I'm relaxed. Why are you got me pressured in? I should be able to separate if I haven't done nothing wrong.
We are separated right now. I'm waiting for another officer.
Another
No,
officer to
we're
do what,
staying
though?
right here.
Another officer to do mother. He's not telling me. Like, yeah, she said I did. She said she didn't tell him I put my hands on her or anything. So why can't I leave?
Right now, this has nothing to do with
What
her
you
right
mean
now.
this had nothing to do? I didn't do nothing wrong. You got me boxed in.
We got a call. Yeah,
They got a call.
legally. Right
Y'all got a
now,
call.
right now, you are legally detained. Okay.
I'm legally detained. For
Yes.
what? For what?
Until we sort out what's going on.
How am I legally detained? Wifey, I got my rights. I know my rights.
What are
He right
your
here.
rights? No, I'm not
Am I
talking.
under
I'm not
arrest?
talking to her.
I'm under arrest?
No, I said I'm not talking to her.
Oh, am I under arrest?
You are being detained
How am I being
temporarily.
detained for what?
We got a call for domestic disturbance.
Oh, domestic disturbance. Okay. I'm
Okay.
sorry. We had an argument.
Okay.
That's it.
And that's why we're here. And I'm waiting for another officer
So she can separate, I can separate?
so we can separate each other, both
Yes.
parties, and then
My
we're
man.
we're gonna sort it out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's all. That's all we got to
I
do.
want no issues. You know what I'm saying, baby?
I don't either.
Go with my mom. Correct. My mother and my auntie. Call my auntie, Mom, please. Kareem, can I go with my mom? Why she sit? Look how she sitting behind the officer like I did something to her. I did, baby. I'm just trying to baby, I just said my mother, my people, my child. And you sitting here doing this?
We're going to be going to the address of section 211.
Yeah, she told me she went on another officer.
In Danforth, Harrison, Ohio.
Baby, so what are you saying? What is going on? I thought you talking about
Sorry, call 23, that's
so I can't leave? You said I'm being detained, sir?
Yes.
Under arrest.
No, there's a difference.
What's the difference, baby? Because I'm trying to figure out. Look, please, wife me on my knees. I'm sorry. We had an argument. Just
We will sort this out in a few minutes. Okay? That's great. That's great.
She can have bad days, but she's sitting here acting like I'm a problem. You boxing me.
The officer is not having.
I'm asking you just to stay here. No, I'm not trying to embarrass you.
483.
He telling me I can't step outside. Why can't I step outside?
I'm asking you to stay here. Okay?
Well, I got alerted
Why do you need to go
that,
outside?
I just want to step outside. Yeah,
No.
I have a lot of people.
That's fine.
So I can take the
That's
fuck off
fine.
on you
I got
and
a
show you
camera on
these
too.
jets. That's
I'm
why.
legally detained. Yeah, a real officer. I guess he came, but I didn't do nothing wrong. I'm just staying here.
Well, I got.
She said, I didn't tell you to put your hand. She said, I just said this. I'm just talking to you until the other officer here. Okay, baby. I love you. See, I just want to step away because the police is embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing if you're just having a conversation with me. Okay?
I'm so sorry. I love you.
I'm being civil with you.
I love you. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I just been so stressed. She know I'm stressed. She know I got my family, my babies. We got kids. I just been so
Like,
stressed.
is there really a difference between being detained and being under arrest? If so, what's the difference?
We had a bad day.
Colored Malibu.
That's it. So why is
No
she not
direction
letting me
to
step
travel.
outside?
It came back twice.
I just was. I didn't. Wife, I did. I said we was. Oh, she over here telling him like, baby, I didn't do it. I just had a reach.
That's there.
So, wifey, what happened? You just left, baby. Why you ain't just leave before I could? I said, no, I didn't. I would have gave them to you. I didn't. I was sitting in here on camera. I said, I love you. I didn't say
Here.
that.
All right, let's
I
stop
didn't say
talking.
that. Wifey, why'd you say it?
Please.
I'm saying this. I love you. Baby, I love
So
you.
if you're
waiting for
just
another
tuning
officer.
in, I want to make sure I give you a heads up on what's going on. If you're just tuning in this morning, this video comes from near the Cincinnati area, from Springdale, Ohio, which is north of Cincinnati, if you're not aware of these areas. And the police were called. Apparently a woman was saying that, someone was abusing her or threatening her. And when the police showed up, it caused this confrontation. Now, what happens next? Things get a bit more physical. Okay, I want to warn you. This ain't for everybody. Like, a lot of people don't like to watch these kind of videos. They feel like it's just not something that they're into. And there are some elements of that in this, including some extreme language. So I want to give you a heads up. I know it's early in the morning. Want to give you a heads up. You're probably with your kids or whatever, getting ready, getting your day ready. Want to make sure you know what to expect here on the show. So my question is, as we watch this, were the officers' actions justified? That's my question for you. That's what I want to know. So watch this and tell me what you think.
No, we're sort.
I know I was upset.
Calissa is completely correct, sis. I can't disagree with you 100%. I mean, I agree with you 100%. I said that backwards. I agree with you 100%. You're right. She writes, we can't tell women not to call police in situations of domestic violence. We need to tell men not to put their hands on women. I'm with you 100%. And I would go even further before we see what happened with the actions of the police. What I would say is that, yeah, like, especially if you got warrants, like, do have warrants. Like, somebody should sit these dudes down and just tell them the simple truth. Like, I don't know, like, when you have warrants, you may not want to go out in public. You might want to chill at home. And then number two, if you decide to go out in public, you may not want to start something with a lady friend or a woman you're involved with, the mother of your children. You may not want to start a conflict with them that rises to the level where she or anybody else might want to call the police, especially if you got warrants. I mean, you if you got warrants, you basically are walking around on thin ice already. If you got warrants, you basically are walking around on thin ice already. If you got warrants and you go anywhere near an automobile, you can be looking at an automobile in the driveway. You setting yourself up for failure. The boys are going to get you eventually. It's just how it works, man. Automobiles, mofos at warrants. It's oil and water. Everybody knows this. You running from the law, or you dodging and trying to get time while you figure out what you're going to do with your cases. And you go anywhere near an automobile, you open yourself up to be exposed to the police. Simple as that. Let alone you out at, what's the name of the place again? Sky Zone. And I can only believe that he did something that would make this sister feel like she wanted to call the police and you got warrants. It's just dumb on arrival. It's just not smart. And Calissa is right. I have no problem with the sister. You felt like you had to call the police. Call them. Call them. Call them. Now, it would be different if you find out the dude didn't do anything wrong, because that happens too. You got women out there that'll use the law like, white folks, like Karen's use it. There's black women that'll use the law just like Karen will use the law when it comes to a black man. It's happened before. You know what I'm saying? Where women get into their feelings. Well, okay. I'm going to call the police just because they know it's going to cause some problems. Now, if that's the case in this situation, that's another deal. But working on the information that we have right now, it seems like, the sister was justified in doing what she got to do. Was she supposed to let you beat her up or something? Hell no. I got no problem with the sister that called the police if that's what she felt like she had to do. I mean, unless we find out otherwise. Rotate.
I know she did because I was just upset. I was upset, but at the end of the day, I'm sorry. But I never sat here. I sit here the whole time in peace. I'll calm down. I said, baby, I came here and talked to her.
Or do you think just because of blue hoodie, the dark skin and black?
I did. Wifey. Why is she saying that?
Okay, right now I'm here to stop this, okay? All right, especially not in front of, I know, okay. Just wait till another officer shows up.
Camden was a block with a 30.
What you tell him? You just said,
just wait, listen, you are creating chaos, okay? So one officer, listen, please, ma'am.
Okay, come on, man. Rob.
Listen. When the
My name is Rob.
Here, I know.
What you tell him? You just said.
Wait, listen. You are creating chaos. Okay. So one officer. Listen, please, ma'am.
Okay, come on, man. Rob.
Listen.
Is it don't say my name? Come on, man. My name is Rob. Go with the plans. Damn, wifey. We get married. I love you. He talking all the game. Wifey. Now come on, that white man. It's too late now, bro. It's too late now. Rob.
When the other officer gets here, he's going to talk to her, and then I'm going to talk to you. That way we can separate the parties just for a few minutes, and we can identify everybody and get.
I told her I love her.
That has nothing.
Identify everybody. Oh no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. Identify people. Y'all out here trying to identify people? God, man, all I want to do is go home. Come on, identify people. We don't want. No. We don't want to identify nobody.
Changing the subject, man.
That's crazy, man.
Keep your hands out of your pockets, please.
Oh, salty, man. I went through it, but I'm with her so much, man. Nobody knows, man. Everybody got their own issues, but I love her.
Yeah, did he chose him on team?
I know.
Too late for all of that.
Go ahead, baby. Go ahead. I love you. I'm sorry. You heard me?
All right, do you have your ID on you?
I don't, sir.
I see your wallet.
I don't have no ID. He asked me, I don't have no ID. I don't have my ID.
Okay. Do you know your...
But she said she come because of disturbance. I got a bad bladder, man. You can see that.
All right. What's your name?
Robert Humphreys Jr. Robert Humphreys Jr.
How do you spell your last name?
Robert Humphreys, H-U-M-P-H-I-E-R.
Don't go in there.
No.
That's not how you spell Humphreys.
All right.
What did he just spell? That wasn't Humphreys. That's not how. Hey, Rob, that's not how you spell Humphreys. That's not how you spell Humphreys. U-T-H-R-E-I. What the hell? Come on, bro. You're going to have to do better than that one. Let's roll that back.
But she said she come because of disturbance. I got a bad bladder, man. You can see that.
All right. What's your name?
Robert Humphreys Jr. Robert Humphreys Jr.
How do you spell your last name?
Robert Humphreys, H-U-M-P-H-I-E-R.
Don't go in there.
I-E-R? Wait. H-U-M-P-H-I-E-R? That's Humfer. That's Robert Humfer. What the fuck? What? I know the officers are like, uh-huh. Is that how you spell Humphreys? He forgot the E and the S, man. He forgot that. I don't mean to laugh, but I mean, come on, man. Get your story together, B. It's called rehearse, man. Rehearse your fake alias.
Wait a minute. What is your social?
What is he doing? What is he doing? What is he doing? It's like, what is your social? 2 7. That damn social. I mean, come on. At what age do you have your social memorized? At what age do you have your soul? Like, I only know 2 numbers. I got 3 numbers in my head. I know my cell phone number. I know my wifey's cell phone number by heart. And I know my social security number. And of course, I know my date of birth. That's like basics right there. Nobody, I bumped my head when I was playing sky basketball. I can't remember. Sure you did. Sure you did, Mr. Humfer. H-U-M-P-H-I-E-R. Sure. Yeah, we'll go with that one. This dude is hilarious, man.
That's not what's happening right now.
What you mean? That's not how
Where's your ID? I saw you got a wallet on you.
I don't have an ID though. I'm telling you that, sir.
Open up your wallet and show me.
I have an ID.
You have to identify yourself.
I told you I'm Robert Humphreys Jr., sir.
Well, you said Robert Humfer.
That's not enough.
Yes, I'm telling you.
That is not enough. So give me your social or give me your ID.
I just gave you my social. I said
you gave me 3, 4, 5 numbers. Well, you're going to have to figure it out.
What is that pesky number again? 29. I think there's a 3 in there. The audio from
restroom, sir.
All right, now you're gonna wait.
How do I have to wait if I have to pee?
Okay, so here's what's about to go down when he goes into the restroom, y'all. Check this out. Tell me if the police are justified in your opinion.
Don't do anything stupid. Keep that door open.
I have to pee, sir. Stop! Stop! Sir! Stop!
8 ball 25. Give me another unit in here.
Sir! Please, mama!
Very call.
Help!
25 clear. 21, what's your location?
Mom!
I'm inside the men's restroom.
Mom, please! I haven't done anything wrong. Please.
Stop.
I haven't. Please. Robert Humphreys Jr., I haven't done anything wrong. I had to pee. Get on the ground for what, Mom? Get on the horse, Mom!
Give me your arms! Give me your arms!
4 or 5. In the restroom again.
You're gonna get tased. I'm gonna drive stun you. You're gonna get tased. Give me your arms. Give me your arms.
Get the fuck out! 2224, you copy?
Stop struggling.
Stop it!
Stop struggling. Stop struggling. Stop struggling. Stop struggling. Stop struggling. Then stop struggling. Stop struggling. I'm getting free. Stop struggling.
2583, check out.
Stop struggling.
Still a fight? What's going?
Stop struggling.
25, sir. Incoming in.
Stop struggling. Stop struggling. Stop struggling. Stop struggling. Stop struggling.
Equal 21, repeat your traffic.
Roll over, got down. Got down. Roll. As you roll over. All right, got down. Grab his arm over there. I got his arm.
This is our Hartford Department, all county broadcast.
What's he got? What's he got?
You can hear people in the background. Somebody was going in like, this ain't got nothing to do with us. Get the F out of here. This ain't got nothing to do with you. It's got nothing to do with us. Let's mind our own business, right? Which is the nature of most people. Like I told you, most black people don't want to come in contact with the police, even when they see something that they are completely innocent of, because you never know how that situation is going to go. You can be an innocent bystander and end up in jail in America, just like that. So, but what do you think? Do you think that the officers were justified in the use of force? What could have been done differently? It's been interesting. I've been kind of watching, some of the conversation on the Springdale police officer, police department's page. And there was a post from the police chief saying basically that he commends his officers. They went away. They did their job. It's a tough job, the whole 9 yards. He's standing by his officers 100%. And, I just feel like, two things can be true at the same time. So for instance, I feel like Robert Humphreys, he could have conducted himself better. He could have been. The number one mistake that Robert Humphreys made, I'm just going to use his little fake name, but the number one mistake he made was having warrants and didn't take care of them. That's number one. Because I don't know the circumstances of his business, so I can't tell him or anybody what to do. But I'm just saying, in general, having warrants, it's a good way of messing up your weekend. That's number one. Take care of that, fam, as soon as you can, the way you need to. And then secondly, whatever happened to lying low when you got warrants? That ain't a thing no more. You got motherfucking warrants. You may not want to go to Sky Zone with warrants. Like we live in a world where everybody want to do everything. You want to have warrants, and then you want to go to Sky Zone and cause domestic disturbances. You're going to have to choose. In my world, you choose. You know what I'm saying? You can't do both, because if you do, here's what happens. Just not smart. You got warrants, you take your ass somewhere, and you chill the fuck out. That's what you do. If you don't turn yourself in just straight off the top, handle your business before your business handles you. Is that a foreign idea? It's just not a smart thing to be out in public causing domestic violence incidences that rise to the level where somebody calls the police, and then you want to act all shocked and surprised when the police roll up. Ain't no talking out of it. At that point, when the boys roll up, ain't no talking your way out of it. It's done. At that point, it's done. You have to make your decision. But I also feel some kind of way about how the officers dealt with him. I felt like, and just reading through the chief's remarks, I could tell, about the police chief out there. I'm like, just some of the comments I felt like was a little bit too much. When the officers do something wrong, they don't want to talk about it. When officers do something and it looks like they might have been on the right, they want to talk about it, right? As soon as possible, set the record straight and tell you how they felt about it. But I felt like there was a very short time frame. My thing is, what's the difference between being detained and being under arrest? If I can't leave, then I'm under arrest. If I'm under arrest, rather than going back and forth between this keep your hands out your pocket thing, just put me in the cuffs, sit me in the car. You know what I'm saying? But you want to stand me up against the wall and have me all boxed in. Want to show everybody that you got power. Just fucking arrest him. Just put the man under arrest. That way you don't have to, say that you were afraid about what he was going to do with his hands. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff is unnecessary. You ain't got to do all of that. Just put him under arrest. That way there is no conversation about what's in your pockets and put your hands in your pockets. Now he's under control. Everybody's safer. Everybody's safer, right? But I'm just going to have you hemmed up against the corner until my backup shows. I'm like, who the fuck is you? Who you think you is? You're not that tough. You know what I'm saying? Wait till the backup gets here. Okay, well, I'm under arrest. What are we doing here? So then he goes into the bathroom stall, and I don't know if he really had to pee. Somebody he had UTI, urinary tract infection. Who gave it to you? You blaming her for that too? Is that what y'all was arguing about? You got UTI. How the hell I get UTI? I don't know. I don't know if you thought he was gonna find a way out. I don't know, but he goes into the stall. The officer follows him in. Again, this goes back to why I say the officer just place him under arrest. Because if the officer is like, let me follow him in because he might have a gun stowed in there or he might have a gun somewhere he trying to pull out. I can understand that logic. Just put his ass under arrest. Put him under arrest. Have him sit down or whatever you're going to do. Have him sit in the squad car until the other officer shows up and then y'all can all talk it all the way through if you feel like it's that serious. But you trying to control somebody's actions without really taking the steps to really control their actions, which then opens up the door for all this subjectivity about what you think was going to happen and your life being in danger. That shit is dangerous. We don't want officers feeling like their life is in danger because that endangers the people around the officer. We don't want that. So if this is what you need to do to feel safe, then do what you got to do to feel safe, control the situation. So the brother goes into the stall. The officer follows him into the stall. Like, what is this? The NFL is piss test day? I mean, you gonna hold it for me? What you trying to do exactly? You know what I'm saying? I would have shut the stall on him too. Like, can I get some privacy? I'm in here trying to do what I do. He walks back out because clearly, I guess his bladder wasn't ready. Comes back out, and as he's walking out, the other officer arrives on the scene. The other officer just goes straight manhandling. You know what I'm saying? Talking about some get on the ground. You mean in the bathroom? Oh, no. Can we do this in the hallway? I mean, to me, it seemed like it was a very short turnaround between, now all of a sudden we're going to arrest you, right? When the second officer shows up, now we're going to arrest you. And it seemed like 2 seconds before the officer was putting his hands on him. And then to me, it seems like the man, Mr. Humphreys, he decided to duck. So he just went down immediately, it seemed like, which is it? You saying he's resisting arrest, but when you go to put hands on him, he immediately goes down. Sounds like he's not resisting arrest. And I got my own personal feelings about some of these. It's like a scrum, right? What is this, football? It's like a scrum or something. And it's like, we're just going to gang tackle you until we can control you. And I'm just saying, having one human being on your body, pressing down on your chest is enough to kill you. Having 2 or 3, most people, that psychologically it's like 2 different things. It's like they're telling you to stop resisting and to stop moving. At the same time, there is nobody in this world that if I put 2 grown individuals holding you down, pressing you down, that you're not going to have some involuntary responses just trying to save your own life and get them off of you. This idea that you have to be completely still, be still for like 10 seconds. I mean, who can do that? You got mofos screaming at you that one person's on your arm, the other is on your leg, the other is on here. That's hard for people to do. I'm just trying to say, I think that's hard to discern when somebody's being compliant. But when the officer lunged at him, he went straight down. He went straight, like he went underneath the grasp, the attempt of the officer to grasp him. And I'm like, okay. So now he's down. So now when he gets down, they end up tasering him because he's moving around too much. I'm like, okay, then get the hell off of me. And then I'll stop moving because you're hurting me. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who you are. Somebody puts their knee in your back and they're holding on you. You're going to be flinching and resisting because you're trying to, and it always gets, oh, you're resisting arrest. No, I'm resisting being injured. I'm trying to shield myself. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? Some of these judges that be charging these folks, and listen, you need to try to do that then. You let two grown individuals apply pain to you while you're on the ground, right? And they're barking orders at you, talking about put your arm back here, while at the same time they're hurting you. And you tell me whether you're going to be able to do that like just super easy. It's against the human genome. It's against the code. Somebody's hurting you, harming you, you're going to flinch. You're going to react. You're going to try to block the blows or to alleviate the pain. And I think sometimes that gets, charged with resisting arrest. Man, please. But what do you think? What do you think? Who was wrong in that case? Can two people be wrong at the same time? Do you think the police were justified in what they did? At some point in the video, you can hear the officers like, yeah, he's just faking. All that mama talk. Mama, mama, mama. He's just running game, trying to get loud now. I don't know. You tell me. 513-873-7134. If you would like to share your thoughts this morning, I would love to hear them. What is on your mind? Good morning to you. Good morning to you. All right. So we played Mystery History last week. Hold on. I want to go to the winners here. And I got my list of winners. And I want to announce the winner of Mystery History. But before we do that, I want to play it for you one more time and then reveal to you who the mystery person was. Check this out.
I'm going to White Restaurant. We integrate today, right? You go to White Restaurant, you got to look all day on the jukebox to find some music.
No. At our party, we'll have Aretha Franklin, Stevie Wonder.
If I go bring a jukebox to White Restaurant, anybody black or tea, you got to look all over that box for some black music. Hank Snow, Johnny Cash, all kind of names I ain't never heard of. When that train comes around that mountain, when that train.
The answer is none other than, of course, that was Muhammad Ali, the great one. Muhammad Ali, a.k.a. Cassius Clay, or Cassius Clay, a.k.a. Muhammad Ali. I think it's more respectful to call the man Muhammad Ali. That's what he wants to be called. But Muhammad Ali, that's the name of it. And we had a lot of people that got the correct answer. And so what I did is I just took all the correct answers, made sure people qualified, and just did it random. Did it totally by random to arrive at the winners. So let me start with the winners here. So, and hopefully the winners are listening. I'll be in contact shortly after the show is over. But the winner of the $50 gift certificate to imgbat.com is Tammy Watkins Stallworth. Tammy Watkins Stallworth. So Tammy, if you're listening, you are the winner. I'll be in contact with you today after the show, and then make sure you understand, what you need to do to redeem your prize. Thank you for playing. I appreciate it. So we had one $50 gift card winner, and then we had two second place winners that will both win 15% off of a purchase toward anything at imgbat.com. All right. So we know who the $50 winner is. That's Tammy Watkins Stallworth. Now, the 15% gift card winner, or 50% winner, the second prize winner, I think is the best way of putting it, is Greg Holloway. Greg, if you're listening, Greg Holloway. And Marisha Butler. So Marisha and Greg, I'll be in contact. Thank you for playing Mystery History, brought to you by the good folks at imgbat.com. And who knows, maybe we'll play more. I enjoy playing it with you. I just want to give stuff away to the audience. That's what I like to do. I just want to reward you for checking out the show and supporting me through everything we're doing. I really appreciate you. So there are the three winners. Again, the $50 gift card winner is Tammy Watkins Stallworth. The second place prize winners are Greg Holloway and Marisha Butler. I'll be in contact shortly after the show to make sure that you connect with your winning. I appreciate you. It's that simple. I wasn't trying to trick anybody. Who didn't hear Muhammad Ali? Come on, he's got that kind of voice. I made it easy for you. Now, the next one will not be so easy. Tired of playing games. We pulling out the big guns. Not sure what that means. Just want to throw that in. 513-873-7134 if you like to share your thoughts. Glenn writes, this is so embarrassing. It's hard to watch. Cuz done messed up. Yes, he did. Charles writes, he's a sucker. Keep your hands off women, period. I agree. Dale writes, stupid games, stupid prizes. That's right. Sean writes, straight mama's boy. Brian writes, bad bladder, UTI, LOL. Y'all. Lisa writes, Humphreys. Humphreyer. Yeah, he was Humphreyer. He was Robert Humphreyer. Talking about some Humphreys. Like, come on, man. People know how to spell their own names. The officer played it cool. He was like, oh, okay. Sure, okay, Mr. Humfer. Glenn writes, you should get arrested for spelling your name wrong. Okay. I see it. Robert is all over the damn place. Right. Wilson writes, we shouldn't laugh. I used to work with him. There are psych issues involved. Oh, is that right, Wilson? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to laugh at the brother. It's the circumstances. It's not him. It's just, come on. So you saying there's psych issues involved? I hope the brother gets help. I do, man. Because to me, if you got warrants, you don't go out in public causing domestic violence situations that would rise to the level of the woman you involved with is going to call the police. Because once she do, it's a wrap. Unless you get out of there quick. That's the other thing. So you come walking out the woman's bathroom and the officer's there. I mean, you suspicious off top. But is everything that happened to that man justified? Like I said, just because you're guilty of a crime in America, you can be dead. It don't mean that the police should be allowed to do whatever they want to do to you. Because if you can do that to somebody that's guilty of a crime, you can do that to someone who's suspicious of a crime. And when you open it up with the latter, that means anybody's a potential suspect. Doesn't matter who you are. So, I mean, despite what this brother may or may not have done, I still think there's a way that things need to happen. Billy writes, this is clearly a couple that don't need to be together. Mom should have told him right then not to lie. Another charge. And think about his mother on the phone listening to this. She don't know what's going on. She has no idea what's going on. She listened to this. She probably got George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and all these situations going through her head. Come on, man. We just got to do better all the way around. Good morning to you. Danita writes, all he had to do was chill out and wait. Well, he ended up chilling out and waiting. He didn't run from the officer. He could have tried to run from him. He might have got past him. He didn't try to run. He didn't try to fight the officer. He went into the stall to urinate. That's what he said. And then when he came back out, when the second officer got there, that's when they got tough. Did you notice that? When it was just one officer, he didn't try to go physically confront him. When the second officer got there and they felt like, oh, we got numbers. Oh, now we want to put our hands on you. To me, it was seconds in between when the officer told him to get on the ground and he's going to be arrested to when the officer swooped in and was going to physically arrest him. Could they have given him more time? Did they have to put their hands on him that way? I mean, he was already complying. I mean, one way of looking at it was he was complying. You asked for a name, he gave you a name. It might not have been the real name, but he gave you a name. You asked for social. It wasn't the whole number, but he gave you 4 digits of the number. Do I have to give the police my social security number? Why isn't my name enough? Police say, listen, who are you? I'm such and such and such. That's enough. Go do your work. I don't have to solve your crime for you. I don't have to incriminate myself. You asked me my name, I gave it to you. You think it's a wrong name? Then we'll do an investigation then. What is the law? What is the law? Here's what I want to know. Billy writes, the officer was being cool. He wasn't escalating. You think, okay. Okay, Kelly Prather's in the house. Good to see you, Kelly. Hope you're doing well. Tracy writes, good morning. Tracy, the other Tracy writes, or another Tracy writes, man, listen. Calissa writes, I know, niece, but when it gets to that point, that young man needs to keep his hands to himself. He went into the women's restroom, falsified his information, went into the restroom as to that would help the situation. They didn't have him arrested because they just showed up. It hurts to see the end result of this situation. Jerome writes, this is the USA. If the police stop you, just do what they say and be cool, because 9 times out of 10, they want you to play the game, the system game. What I would recommend for people is to a couple things, to all the younger brothers out there and brothers in general. Number one, stay on top of your legals as much as possible. Make sure you got, correct, you got L's, you got license. Make sure you got, you're taking care of your business in terms of you and your relationship with the legal system, knowing whether you have warrants or not. Sometimes things happen. I get it. Sometimes things happen, but as much as possible, staying on top of your legal status, and then acting appropriately when you have some legal issues. Like I said, you got warrants, you shouldn't be at Sky Zone. You should be at home, contemplating when you're going to turn yourself in and handle your business so it doesn't have to happen like this. So now what's going to happen is I can tell already, is that because of the way he acted, because of what he allegedly did, again, he's not guilty of anything. That's what he allegedly did in terms of domestic violence with this young woman. Because he had warrants, nobody cares about what the police did whatsoever. That's going to be minor. And I wonder if he could have been taken into custody without all the physical stuff. That's what I'm wondering. But again, it comes down to more of this, in my opinion. Do what I say right now. Do what I say right now. And if you don't, then we're going to make you. Again, from what I saw, 2 things can be true at the same time. I think that this brother was committing a long list of bad decisions. And at the top of that list is when he put his hands allegedly on that girl or intimidated her to the point where she had to call the police. If in fact that's the truth. I keep putting it that way because we know that women will call the police on dudes when they didn't do anything wrong. Could that be a play here? It could be. I don't know. I don't have enough information. At that point, when the police showed up, he already knew his goose was cooked. He knew. Man, he could smell the carrots boiling. It was a wrap. Because when the boys show up, 9 times out of 10, they want to identify everybody, because as a part of their police procedures, they're going to run your information to see if you got any warrants. It's smart. They probably catch a lot of people like that. Charles writes, don't act a fool in public, especially if you have warrants. What he just said. Tracy writes, if he's got warrants, that explains why he's so agitated. It does. It does. For me, I say stay cool as a fan. Boys roll up, answer the questions that you feel like you want to answer, and don't answer the questions that you don't want to answer. But be prepared for what could happen. Best case scenario, they give you a warning or whatever, and they let you go. Worst case scenario, they're going to take you down to the JC. You're going to be processed. Black folks, I said again, you got to be prepared to preserve your dignity, because I'm not begging anybody for anything. I'm not begging no officer, please don't take me to jail. I'm not doing that. Just take me to jail and we'll deal with it. I'll get a lawyer afterward if I feel like I got a case, and then I'll proceed that way. You know what I'm saying? But fighting what's the inevitable, I don't do all of that. I'm not doing all of that. I'm not going to, if the inevitable is I got to get processed, then let's just get to the processing. Let's just get to it. You're going to go down there. You're going to fall asleep. It's going to be dirty. You're going to fall asleep for a little while, probably. Then you wake up. Hopefully you get your bologna sandwich. And then after that, then you can get your call or whatever the process is. Just get ready for it. Especially if you know you didn't do anything wrong. I'm just making a larger point away from this dude, because clearly you got warrants. What you want people to do? You want the cops to not arrest you when you got warrants? It is what it is. Laura writes, if you got warrants, just shut up, stop talking, make this worse. Right. Danita writes, is that her talking in the background that he is saying he loves and he is sorry? Yes. Sean writes, this guy lacks emotional intelligence. Yo writes, that's his mom. Glenn writes, if I know I'm dirty, I'm trying to finesse the shit out of this situation to keep from going to jail or getting tasered. Did they have to taser the man? I thought the taser, again, it's hard to tell police officers what to do in the middle of the situation. Everybody can Monday morning quarterback, and guess what? Today's Monday. So that's what we're doing here, okay? But do you think that the officers were justified in using the taser? Now, these are not Cincinnati police officers, so they're not under the collaborative. This is a whole other police department. This is Springdale, Ohio Police Department. They got another set of rules out there. The way they do what they do is the way they do what they do. Tracy writes, she said, you just beat my ass today. Deuce is right. What the hell? What the hell? Now, fellas, let me just tell all that. Listen, let Big Uncle Nate school you. Come, let me share some information with you that your father probably should have. For all the men out there, the young men out there who grew up without a dad, let me get a little closer. Let Big Uncle Nate school you on some things. There are too many women in this world. Too many of them. All shapes, all shades, all colors, all kinds of personalities, incomes. All right. For you to allow yourself to put yourself in jeopardy over one. Over one? I don't care if you got kids with her or not. You can't force a woman to do something and why would you want to force a woman to do something that she wasn't want to do? And number two, all you're going to do is get yourself caught up in the game, homie. That's all you're going to do. I'm trying to figure out, maybe they were, what are you arguing about that gets you so upset that you want to cause some type of public confrontation and you know you have warrants? I just don't understand what that could possibly be. This is just not smart money. This is not smart money at all. Mrs. Love being black writes, he needs to just be quiet. He don't have to talk to them. That's the other thing. You don't have to say a word. You ask you your name, tell me your name. You feel like you want to, but you don't have to tell them a word. You don't have to say anything. Now, there's consequences to that. You're probably going to get processed while they figure out and try to figure out who you are. And if you're ready, if you're about that life, then deal with it. Angela writes, I am a survivor of over 20 years of domestic violence. Call the police on his ass the first time it happens. It doesn't get any better. Stop him in his tracks from the beginning. Whew, yeah. Angela, I remember you talking about that. I think it was with the dope chicks. You were having that conversation. It was somebody. Just did a podcast yesterday that you'll hear very, very soon from Melanated Insights, and they were talking about domestic violence. What was so interesting about their conversation, shout out to Britt and Cass, is that they had a woman who was a survivor of domestic violence, and they also had a man who came on and talked about it, which I thought was very interesting. That was very interesting. That's right. Men can be the victims of domestic violence. And there are women out there who things have happened to their past and they react physically. There's men who just deal with it. Thought it was real interesting. I'm with you. Get out quick. Get out quick. Charles writes, he's a sucker. Keep your hands off a woman, period. I think I read that. Nat's in the house. She writes, good morning. Good morning to you. Or he writes, good morning. Humphrey, you're right. Dale writes, I can watch this ish. Tiffany writes, Robert is all over the damn place because Robert didn't want to go to jail. Terrence is in the house. What's up, Brother Forte? He writes, good morning, Nate and Chopper. Stay woke, stay safe. Absolutely. Tamika writes, pulling a social security number out of the sky. He looked up at G.O.D. and G.O.D. looked down like, don't ask me. He asking you, what's your social security number? It's like, 30, Tracy writes, getting his social security from Jesus. Tracy writes, that social goes with the misspelled name, right? Billy writes, social, what is my social? Glenn writes, what's your social? 7779311. He could have said 8737134. Yeah, that's my social. That's my social. Oh my God. They're living in the last days of common sense, my friends. Glenn writes, what's your birthday? 3/1/2021. 3/1/2021. I know that's hilarious. Oh man, Jesse writes, he looked like Wanda from In Living Color when he tried to spell his name. You are wrong. You are wrong for that. Oh my God. Sister Iris is in the house. Good to see you, Sister Iris. Tracy writes, Mike Epps' lottery number is 15, 30, 37, 38, 45, 47. Oh man. Wilson writes, Nate, it's only funny if he was doing it on purpose. I know him. He is special needs. Okay. Thank you for that, Wilson. Again, no way am I laughing at him. I'm laughing at the circumstances. I think, my style, Wilson, is I hate to see anybody get caught up with the legal system, especially black folks. And despite everything that brother said, I don't think that he had to be the victim of a rough arrest like that. I think if they would have gave the man some orders, he'd have turned around. He could have put the cuffs on him without slamming him, without getting on top of him, because they didn't slam him to the ground. That's not what happened. I want to speak very, very, very carefully because I want to be very specific. They did not slam him to the ground. He went to the ground as a way of escaping the officer's grasp, and he complied, in my opinion. They said get on the ground. He got on the ground. Rather than let the officers manhandle him and slam him, he went straight down. That's what I seem to see from my eyes. And then there was a tussle ensues. Again, having somebody on top of you like that, people act like that's an easy thing to do. That's not easy. That is not easy. And a lot of people are in different stages of shape. Again, just being on your belly, on the ground with your hands behind your back is enough for people to cause a panic attack. That's enough for people to start having a panic attack. Any law enforcement out there, you let me know. Has anybody ever just had a panic attack just from having their hands behind their backs? I would imagine so. That ain't easy for some people. That is not a comfortable scenario. And then people start dealing with anxiety, like I can't breathe, I can't move. I mean, people mess around and have a damn stroke just from having their hands behind their back. That is not, again, we underplay that because we see it so much in the movies. We act like it's just a natural state of being. That is not a natural state of being. And then if you add to that having two grown individuals on top of you, trying to pull your arms behind your back, that'll make anybody freak the hell out. Police or no police, you're still human. That'll make people freak out. I'm men, women. I can see somebody freaking out like, just get off of me, right? I don't know what you're trying to do. People have different levels. Some people smoke, COPD, asthma. Like I said, that ain't fun. That's not a good day. That's a real serious situation right there. Let me see. Lisa writes, he's on the phone with his mama. Ask her for the social. See, y'all got jokes. Y'all got jokes. Tracy writes, give me your social or go to jail, dummy. You know you done effed up now. Julie writes, justifies, case closed, next topic, LOL. Damn, yeah, it's just that simple. Again, folks, two things can be true at the same time. Did Robert Humphreys act in a manner that justifiably would lead to his interactions with the police? Allegedly, yes. Allegedly, yes. If he committed the offense that woman said, like intimidating her or making her feel insecure, and she justifiably called the police because she felt like her life and her body was at risk, she did exactly the right thing. I got no problem with it. But does that justify him being tasered? Him being roughly arrested? Okay, that's my question for you. Give me your straight answer. Elizabeth writes, crazy, he followed him to the restroom. And this is why I say, from the officer's perspective, go ahead and just place him under arrest then. Like, if you feel that he's such a threat that you got to follow him into the restroom, one, because you don't want him to get away, which I understand. There could be a window or something there, a back door. Two, because you don't know if he might have a weapon. He's going to go in there, get his weapon out, then come back and try to shoot me. Then just place him under arrest, take control of the scenario, and I think it'll make everybody feel a lot better. Calissa writes, they don't know what he's doing in that stall, getting a weapon, getting rid of weapons. Who knows, right? Iris writes, you can tell something is off. The whole approach is wrong. Glenn writes, did he run in the bathroom? He didn't run. He just went into the bathroom. He's right there. The door was right to his left. Lemmy writes, good morning. Anthony writes, actually, they took too much time in dealing with him. Once they knew he was on BS, then he should have been in custody. You think they took way too much time with the whole scenario, huh? Okay. Charles writes, calling out for his mama after you just beat a woman? Tiffany writes, all you had to do was follow simple instructions. True. But does that mean that he deserved to be arrested in the manner that we saw, though, Tiffany? But let's go to the phones. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the show.
What's going on, Nate? Happy Monday, man. How you doing?
Happy Monday. I'm doing great. Welcome.
I had to call in because I'm getting frustrated with the comments. But Nate, and I hate to put us in enviable position, but let's just say you and I are on the beat, man, and we pull up on this brother, okay? We know that, there's a call about a possible something going on. We know there's possible DV in his background or whatever, okay? But we going in thinking like, hey, we're going to find out what this brother's all about. We're going to access the situation and see what's going on. So then he gives us, we ask him for his name, Nate. Just you and I now, we stand there. The brother we ask him for his name, and he spells his last name wrong. That makes you spec number one. Can we agree on that, Nate? Just being regular old people. Okay. Then we ask him for his social security number, and he looks up in the sky, and it looks like an SNL sketch. Nate, that makes you suspect number two. Am I correct? This is whole mannerisms. Okay?
I would say it's number three, because the first suspect thing is when the police rolled up, he's walking out the woman's bathroom.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about that. Thank you, Officer Ivy. So we got three right there. Then after all this, little mini interrogation, he goes into the bathroom, Nate. Now, as officers, we don't know if he what. Maybe he got rid of weed, but maybe he got rid of that. Or maybe he repositioned himself, whatever. After all this, the last thing you want to do, let's put ourselves in his position now, is what, Nate? Run into the bathroom? I mean, am I missing something, Nate?
I'm with you.
I'm hearing people talking about, well, maybe he had, mental issues. This Negro didn't have mental issues when he was trying to make up shit, Nate, did he? He looked crystal clear what he was trying to do, didn't he, Nate?
I'm with you.
So stop it, people, with that BS. We all know, just look at, out of all the situations, and Nate, I understand your angle and the lying post, giving us wrong names, post, spelling your shit wrong, that, maybe we didn't have to go to the Taser situation. But after you already, decided, I'm not going to take this L, I'm going to lie, I just completely goofy, then you're going to resist arrest? And I say this, Nate, remember I told you the story about, remember we were talking about the kids at the mall and they got into it and, and everybody had their opinion about that. But I told you about my situation, my senior year in high school when I got, arrested up there at Clifton Common. Dudes came up there to fight with my boys. I'm doing what I would do as a senior. Well, I got to stand with my boys. We about to get it on, whatever. Police officer sees me for everything, jumps off, tells me to go away. Me and the rest of my friends. Down here, back was 1986, so I got on a bright ass green Coca-Cola, hoodie on or whatever. And everything breaks out, fight breaks out, police come, pepper spray everybody, everybody dispersed. Police over in the mall pavilion area, I'm over in the parking lot. Yeah, my boys, friends, everybody. This is senior. Half Woodward gets out at 2:20, back in those days. And the same police officer that told me said, hey, didn't I tell you to get out of here? Was the one that arrested me. Now, man, I had two things I could have done. I could have dipped. I mean, I know everything about Woodward High School in the surrounding area, being there from the 7th to the 12th grade. So I could have hid out at freaking, the Lewis Center if I wanted to. But what I'm going to do, Nate, come back to school Monday like what, nothing happened? Like nobody saw me? That's not the way shit jump off. So I had to take that L. I could have ran. Believe me, everybody's like, Glenn, run. And I looked at him, and I looked at everybody else, and I'm like, again, reason to kick in, I just went in, click, like McMill. Cuffs locked on wrist, sitting in the paddy car. Out of 300-400 people at the time, 2 people get arrested. Me and another guy. And I told you, man, I went to the police. It's the one time I ever called my father instead of my mother. Because they would have, I would have needed police protection Sunday. My father got there, finessed his way, talked to police officers about the black police officer. I told you the story. They standing around, he talked to him. I'm like, oh, Dad, don't get me out of this. Walked out of the room. I'm like, hey, where you going? He left me in there for about 45 minutes to an hour. As a lesson. Haven't been back since, Nate. Haven't been back since. 40-something years later. Nate, that's my story, man. I'm sticking to it. And in the end, hopefully in the end, they get what I'm spitting, brother. You got anything you want to ask me?
Nah,
you got anything you disagree with me about?
Oh, you want me to say, nah, I mean, the only thing I would say is there's a brother here named, I think his name is Wilson. He's saying he knows the brother and the brother has some, some issues he might be dealing with. So I think that should be taken into consideration as well.
Well, I mean, like anger issues, because he's beating up a woman. He's running into bathrooms. Now, you've gotten into disagreements with your wife before. I was married a long time. I got disagreements with my wife before, but I never ran into the bathroom. What do you want to do? Drag your ass out of there? Get your ass. Is that how you going to do it? So what you going to do, Nate? Honey, I'll wait out here by the water fountain when you get out. Hey, can we talk? No, I'm ready to go. Well, then let's go. But we're not going to get to the point to where you run into the bathroom. You're so scared. I actually run in. I got to call the police like, oh, he's wrong. We'll flip this lid. So any way around it, he's wrong. I kill my kids all the time, and they try to get away with it. So that's like, you just got to take that L. Just take it L. Just take it and go with it. What your mother always tell you back in the good old days? If you tell one lie, you got to tell another lie to cover up the first lie. You told so many lies, you don't know what the hell you're saying. Like, I don't know my name. How you spell your name, Nathan? I-P-H-E-Y. What's your Social Security? Look up in the sky. God did that thing. Come on, man. Nathan, I'm out of here, man. I know people going to disagree with me, agree with me, but hey, it is what it is. You have a good one, brother. I appreciate you taking my call.
Take it easy, man. Appreciate it. That's Mason Marler. We'll go ahead and rack him this morning. All he had to do was follow simple instructions. That's what Tiffany says. Good morning to you, Tiffany. Good to see you. All he had to do was, at some point he was going to jail no matter what, right? All right, let's take a minute to bring in a couple of words from our sponsors this morning. One of our sponsors this morning is Pinnacle Protection Agency. Check this out. We'll be right back.
Looking for great pay with a great family-owned company? Pinnacle Protection Agency is seeking professional installers. Pinnacle Protection Agency is innovative security for your world, offering services for commercial and residential clientele, which include smart home and business technology, intrusion, fire, surveillance and doorbell cameras, and a whole lot more. We want to hire experienced installers and are willing to train. Please send your resume to info@pinnacleprotectionagency.com. That's info@pinnacleprotectionagency.com. Call 513-506-5010.
Again, that's 513-506-5010. Pinnacle Protection Agency. Give them a call this morning. They are looking for installers. They're looking for people who have experience. And even if you have experience in terms of being working in some industries that may not be directly with like home security. So maybe you were doing something with installing cable you're a cable installer, any kind of experience along those lines, they are looking for you. Plus, they will give you some training on the job as well. They're seeking professional camera, DVR, and alarm installers. Again, you can email your resume this morning to info@pinnacleprotectionagency.com. Again, that's info@pinnacleprotectionagency.com this morning. The good folks at renewcommunitychurch.org, they're kicking off something new in the year 2021. It's called Focus 2021 series. And to kick things off, they are offering a free ebook to you this morning. All you have to do is go to their website at renewcommunitychurch.org. There is a link in the description of today's show. You can download the free ebook this morning, 100% free for you. And while you're going through that process, if you're interested, you can sign up for 30 minutes of free coaching from Charlie Winburn. And he's available to coach with you and to consult with you on maybe you've got a business idea, maybe dealing with a personal matter, maybe it's a spiritual matter. Could be all of the above. And all you have to do to register is to hit the link in today's description and check it out. I've already downloaded it. And it's quite interesting. You know, I want you to download it. I want some of you folks to come back and give me your thoughts about what you think about it. We're also scheduled to speak with Charlie Winburn real soon. He's going to come in and walk us through the ebook a bit and talk about, you know, the Focus 21 series in more detail. So I want to make sure that you are aware of this, and it's available to you this morning. You can check it out in the description of today's show. It's real simple. It's real simple. Today's show is also brought to you by the good folks at the Wellburn Experience.
Well-born experience. It's that well-born experience. The well-born experience. 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 It's that well-born experience. Yeah, the well-born experience. Yeah, that well-born experience. Experience. Tell us what you need. That's the question we start with. We specialize selling condos, houses, apartments. Make sure that you happy with your residence. Keep it real, no filter. Oh, it's the realtor from the nattiest heaven sent. It's the well-born experience. Ain't nothing like it. Every time he talk to his client, he's so excited just knowing he able to put them in a place to lay their head, not focusing on his profits, but on the client instead. Right. He keeps it so professional and from his conversation. You can tell he studies before sharing information. Educated, motivated, ain't nobody better. Who's willing to walk you through every step to relieve the pressure? Yeah, and just so you know it's real, you get a special personalized rug once he closes the deal. So go and call him up so he can get you live. 513-252-1055.
Again, that's 513-252-1055, the wellburnexperience.com. And again, there's a link in the description of today's show. Now, if you're just tuning in, I want to go over this again. We do have winners. Tammy Watkins Stallworth. Tammy, are you out there? Tammy, are you out there? Tammy Watkins Stallworth. I'll be in contact with you immediately following today's show. You're the big winner for Mystery History, and you won the $50 gift certificate toward a purchase at imgbat.com. The two second place winners are Marisha Butler. Good morning to you, Marisha. Is she in the house? And Greg Holloway. And congratulations to all the winners. We'll play more. All right, 513-873-7134 if you would like to share your thoughts. There it is. Good morning to you. Let me get back into it. Glenn writes, he started lying on 10. Sister Iris writes, does anyone know how he's doing? I don't know. That's a good question. That was my first thought, like, how is he doing? Darlene's in the house. She's on YouTube. She writes, I hate seeing this. So unnecessary. Maybe he should have peed on them. Then what? He would have had a real problem on his hands then. Corlisa writes, the other people posted only videos that take down, so it looks like unarmed and not resisting. The manager had to tell them to back up. Ronald writes, please use this video to show our children how not to act. And it is a great job by police. No guns, tasers used after multiple warnings. This was perfect. Absolutely justified use of force. Really? Okay. Well, again, no matter, we don't have to agree on this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for unanimity and we have to all agree with this. I think this story to me underscores something that mainstream media, they won't make this point about the black community. And that is that black people, they know what they're looking at. And they completely understand the difference between, you know, a situation in which it was unjustified and when it was justified. You got a lot of folks in here, a lot of black folks who are like, oh, it was justified. And it just goes to show you that when people try to say that black people are automatically against the police, that they are lying. That is not true. Black people just look at the situation, look at the evidence, and then, you know, can discern for themselves what's going on. And our conversation this morning is a great example of that. So I just want to make sure that we give credit where credit is due, because when there's a shooting or a situation in which the police are completely not justified and the black community raises its voice, people are trying to say, oh, well, the police can do no wrong. You always, they want to speak in absolutes then. Nothing, if few things are absolute. Oh, you never support. When there's an officer, you just can't. No. Black people know the difference. We know the difference. We can see the difference. We can tell for ourselves. And many people are looking and making their own decisions this morning. Now, was he resisting arrest? I didn't see resisting arrest. That's not what I saw. It depends on what's called a resisting arrest. You know, so what I saw is the brothers walking out. Let me watch this again. Brothers walking out, and this happens. Check this out.
I haven't did anything wrong. Please.
Stop.
I haven't. Please.
So officer told him to stop. He stopped.
Robert Humphrey Jr. I haven't did anything wrong. I had to pee. Get on the ground for what, Mom?
He said, get on the ground, man. Right? He said, get on the ground, man. Okay. Now that's the first time he's been asked to get on the ground. The officer says, get on the ground, man. He says, get on the ground for what? Which I think is a completely legitimate question, because you don't have to be on the ground to be arrested. I see people that stand up all the time. The police say turn around, they put their hands behind their back, and they arrest them. Why do I have to get on the ground? To me, that is a completely legitimate question. You want me to get on the ground in the bathroom at Sky? What's it called? Sky Zone? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Can we go outside? Then can we walk like 10 feet away from the entrance of the restroom? Then I can get on the ground. But again, why do I have to be on the ground? He didn't say, I'm not getting on the ground. What he said was, why do I have to be on the ground? I take that as, if you're going to arrest me, can I do this standing up? People do it all the time. And then when the officer goes in, he ducks underneath him. That's what I'm seeing. Hold on. Let me look.
Stop! Sir! Stop!
8 ball 25. Give me another unit in here.
Sir! Please, Mama!
Very call.
Help!
25 clear. 21, what's your location?
Mom!
I'm inside the men's restroom.
Mom, please! I haven't did anything wrong. Please.
Stop.
I haven't. Please. Robert Humphrey Jr. I haven't did anything wrong. I had to pee. Get on the ground for what, Mom? I don't got force. Mom!
So what I just saw is the guy said, get on the ground, man. He said, get on the ground for what? And as he's saying that, the officer is coming straight at him. So he goes underneath. The officer goes over the top of him. Now the officer's on top of him. He's on the ground. So how is that resisting arrest? I don't know these things. Maybe they do things differently in Springdale. I'm not a member of the law enforcement. But to me, I think two things can be true at the same time. I think the young man, the brother, he wrong from the jump. He was wrong before he got to Sky Zone, because you going in the Sky Zone with warrants. He was wrong when he got to Sky Zone and started to push up on this woman and made her want to call the police. He was wrong when he started giving them fake names, and I understand why, because he's trying not to go to jail. I get it, but just because he did all of that does not mean that it justifies the police. I don't think he was ever a threat to the police. I didn't see any kind of threats he made at the police whatsoever. So I'm just saying, let's look at this and be fair. Lemmy writes mental issues with this person. Julie writes, at the very least, I hope he learned not to put his hands on a woman. Calissa writes, justified. He escalated the situation. I just hate seeing the end result. Tiffany writes, why did he run into the bathroom? Glenn writes, what could have been done differently? 1, don't hit your wife or girlfriend. 2, don't lie to police when you know you're dirty. Well, he was wrong when he got to Sky Zone because you go into a public spot and you got warrants. Handle your biz before you go to Sky Zone. That's number 1 off top. Handle your biz. That's my son. I'm going to tell him, like, you don't do what? You're not going to turn yourself in? All right. How long is that going to work? So what's your plan? Lisa writes, he continued to this when he went into that stall and closed the door. At that point, they didn't know if you pulled something out of somewhere. I agree with you. You're right. They didn't know. Angela writes, the number 1 mistake he made was put his hands on his woman, period. The number 1 mistake he made was not taking care of his warrants. The number 2 mistake he made was going to a public space and you got warrants. The number 3 mistake he made was, and this is what really sunk his battleship, was putting his hands on his girlfriend. No person should have to deal with that. I think it's some weak ass shit, quite honestly. I think that's a weak man. You ain't got to do all that. It's unnecessary. Fellas, if you were a lady, and I'm going to use a term that I don't really believe in, she makes you feel. Because I don't really believe in that whole somebody else making you feel some way. You know what I'm saying? Human beings are responsible for their own actions. And just because somebody does something don't have to make you feel a certain way. I don't believe in all of that. But just for the sake of the conversation, fellas, if you were with a lady and she makes you feel so angry that the Incredible Hulk is coming out, then leave her. Y'all not right together right now. Don't spend your time arguing, going back and forth. Why would you do any of that? Going back and forth, arguing with her about the smallest stuff that you have no control over in the world anyway. I ain't doing none of that. Never. No. But see, I'm more mature now. I look at things a little bit differently. I look at the bigger picture. I can understand you in the moment. You're going back and forth to some degree, not to the point where you're going to put your hands on a woman. But fellas, not every woman is relationship material. Not every woman that you kick it with, y'all got to have some kind of intimate relationship. Y'all might be better just as friends. Not every relationship has to get to the winner circle, so to speak, where y'all married for a long time. Maybe it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And you can't force somebody to say or think anything. People can say and think what they want to think. It's all about how you react to it. Brian writes, he's at a loss of words. Brian writes, I'm 50-50 on this one. I'm 100%. Like, I feel 100% that Robert Humphreys involved was completely wrong from before he got there. But I also feel 100% that the officers could have they could have dealt with that situation without getting physical with him. That wasn't necessary. So, for instance, get on the ground. I'm going to say the exact same thing. If that was me and I'm in a bathroom stall, same exact scenario, the officer says, get on the ground. Get on the ground for what? Because in my mind, I'm thinking, if you're going to put me under arrest, then let's just get to it. I don't have to be all on the ground. What the fuck is this, the plan? I'm not doing all of that. I don't want to do all of that in the bathroom too. I got OCD. I'm a Virgo. You can't do that with a Virgo. That is not the way you treat a Virgo. Get on the ground in the bathroom, public stall. I ain't going to be able to do that one. That's going to be difficult. That goes against my personal constitution. Personally, I can't do that. And they could have said, hey, listen, man, turn around. You under arrest. He would have said, you under arrest for what? They would have walked in there, put the cuffs on him, and it would have been over with. But the officer lunged for him. Is he supposed to just stand there? Is he supposed to fight back? He didn't fight back. He did the next best thing. He dodged it. I'm just saying. Irish writes, no, it's not a foreign idea, but what did he do? Question mark. What was he guilty of? Question mark. Having a warrant doesn't mean you can abuse force or violate his rights. Exactly. Just because you have a warrant, just because you did wrong, doesn't mean the police can just do whatever they want to do to you. And that's why I want people to understand. Even in cases like this, where it appears that the person that was arrested, may have contributed to the whole scenario. Even in that situation, there's a way that process is supposed to happen. And the community keeping their eye on these kind of things, even in cases like that, is how you prevent people like you who are completely innocent from being caught up in the game. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Two things can be true. Did he do some things allegedly? I don't know if he committed domestic violence because I didn't see that. But did he do some things even when the police showed up that helped the situation to escalate? Yes, he did, I guess. But does that mean the officers had to put their hands on him and tackle him the way they did? I would say no. I think that they had some options there. That's just me. That's just me. Let me see. Darlene writes, right, Nate, just arrest and quit playing all the power play. That's what I saw. I felt like it was this power play. If the man can't go anywhere and you're afraid of him resisting arrest, then put him under arrest and put the handcuffs on him. But to play this power game of, I'm going to stand here and you're not going to move. I mean, who's got time for that? Now, the officer lied. The officer said, listen, I'm going to detain you until my partner shows up. And when my partner shows up, one of us is going to talk to you and the other one is going to talk to him, to the woman involved. And then we're going to get your identification. That's not what happened. As soon as the second officer showed up, they got big boy about it. Oh, we going to show you. We going to make you now. That's what happened. He walked into the bathroom because he said he had UTI, which let's just say he made that ish up. I didn't see him do anything aggressive. I didn't see him do anything that was threatening toward the officers. I didn't see any of that. At first, the officer told him not to go in the bathroom. When he got in the bathroom, they told him not to leave the bathroom. So which is it? And then I just played it for you. A second officer showed up, and as soon as the second officer got there, now it was physical time. Now we're going to make you. So wait a minute. You went from telling me that I'm not arrested, I'm just detained, to now you're going to tackle me? There was no middle ground. You go from telling me, hey, you're not under arrest, you're just detained, to get on the ground. What happened to all that stuff in the middle? Like, let me ask you, sternly that you're going to be under arrest. The officer went from, you're not going to be arrested, I'm just going to detain you. And when my partner gets here, we're just going to talk to you and try to get some information, to get on the ground. And a second later, the officer is lunging for him. That's fair. Whatever happened to, okay. So my partner's here. We're going to try to get to the bottom of it, but you're acting a little bit too extra for us, sir. So for our safety and your safety, we're going to go ahead and place you under arrest. Whatever happened to that? Is that too much to ask for? Like, I know dude is dead wrong. If he put his hands on a woman, he dead wrong for that. You got warrants, you dead wrong for that. Police show up, you start yabba dabba doing, you dead wrong for that. However, the police still have procedures and a way they're supposed to interact with people, no matter what the scenario is. And my question is, in that video, what I saw was the officer told him, you're not under arrest, you're just detained. When my buddy gets here, we're going to have a conversation with you. But when his buddy showed up, his buddy came in on 10. There was no conversation. His buddy showed up and said, get on the ground. That was the first thing he said that was audible on that particular, body cam. Get on the ground. The man said, get on the ground for what? And as he is saying that, the officer is lunging for him. As I said, family, whatever happened to something in the middle, like, okay, listen, so my buddy's here now. I got backup now. Now we want to deal with the situation. But listen, son, you walking in and out, you making me nervous. You walking in and out of the store. I don't know what you're going to do. So because of all of that, I'm going to go in your safety and my safety. I'm going to go turn around. Yeah, turn around. Okay, well, I'm telling you right now, this is what you don't know why? I'm telling you why. So my safety and your safety, I'm going to go ahead and put you under arrest. And then once we get more control of the situation, we're going to figure this all out. Is that too much to ask for? Now, who out there has a problem with what I just said? Isn't that what the police do all the time? We see this happen all the time. Listen, you chilling, you tripping right now. So we're going to go ahead and put you in a squad car, let you chill because you acting real nervous. I don't know what you're going to do, sir. And then we're going to talk to her and we're going to come back and figure out who everybody is. I think if they would have taken that route, he would have turned around. He would have been saying stuff like, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? You know he would have said that because he was already saying it. He would have turned around. They would have put his cuffs on him. They would have put him in a police car, and all of that stuff could have been avoided. The officer didn't have to lunge at him on some Batman-ish. Come on, family. What do you see? That's what I saw. I'm not making excuses because you got to deal with the accidents. I mean, I already told you. I mean, I think the brother made a lot of mistakes. But how you go from when my partner gets here, we're going to talk, to when the partner shows up, the partner tells you to get on the ground, and then a second later, it's jumping on top of you. They weren't asking him, they weren't saying, at no point did the officer say that you're under arrest. At no point did the officer say that you are under arrest. Put your hands behind your back. I'm going to cuff you. At no point did that happen until the second officer showed up and they were already involved in the tussle. Now you want to taser him. I'm not trying to say the dude is a saint. I'm just saying that there are rules and that the police have to follow the rules and do things in a certain way, even in a scenario in which, it appears that they're justified in stopping somebody and or even arresting him. If you're going to arrest him, arrest him. That's what I don't get. They could have just arrested the man when he showed up. Or was the officer afraid that he physically wasn't going to be enough to deal with this one person? So he didn't want to go that route until he had backup and he felt like he had more control of the situation. Okay. But then you lied to the dude. You told him that when your partner shows up, you're going to talk. And you knew in your head that when your partner shows up, oh, it's the buddy that he get busy. He don't come in talking too much. He just get blizzy with it. You knew who was showing up. Anybody feel me on that? Anybody feel me on that? That's all I'm saying. Oh, hey, what's up, Greg? Thank you for playing, Greg. Thank you. Absolutely. Tiffany writes, congratulations to all the winners. We'll play more. Kevin writes, you gonna say my name, boy, pow. What's my name, boy? Pop, pop, pop. Again, give me your thoughts about the scenario. What do you see? What do you think? Let's go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. This is Miss Love being Black. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. Good morning to you. Welcome.
Good morning. I'm just calling because I'm with you, Nate. I got mixed emotions about this. I don't like the situation of the reason why the police was calling Springdale, but living out in this area, I already know it's places, just to put it out there, Springdale, Laughlin, Reading. If you ever out in the suburbs area, those areas, if the police show up, you're going to jail. Plain out, simple. Just prepare yourself, prepare your body, your mind, your soul. Sit there, be quiet. Just have in the back of your mind, I got to get me a lawyer and stack your cash, because those are areas, if they show up, they're not coming to really talk to you. Most likely you're going to jail. So this to put that out there anyway about this area. Now, the way I look at it is the young man should not have put his hands on the woman. So we know that part. But his mama on the phone should have told him to close his mouth. Just be quiet. First of all, if you're not arrested, you don't have to talk. That's why they use the word detained versus being under arrested, because under arrested, you will have to read me my rights, and I have the right to remain silent. So therefore, I can sit there and don't say nothing, and you can't force me to say nothing. But saying I'm detained and we're going to just talk, then that way they can try to force you into having a conversation with them to basically tell on yourself. So either way, he shouldn't have said nothing. He should have sat back and just been quiet. It is not your job to, tell the police what happened. It's their job to figure it out. So he should have just sat back there, been quiet, asked him his name. He should have just been quiet. They're going to arrest you anyway. So why give them more to add to it? So therefore, you already was called for domestic violence. I already know that means I'm going to get arrested. I already know that means going to at least do 30 days in jail. So I'm just going to shut up and just be quiet and quit adding more to my charges. And that's where I feel like he was wrong at, so keep talking. His mama should have said, just be quiet, son. And then the officers was wrong because there was you don't even know what was going on. The second officer just came busting in there, round about it, ready to go down. And, he the one escalated the situation, if you ask me, because the first officer was trying to, be more reasonable. Come in here. I need backup. He went to the bathroom, blah, blah, blah. Why couldn't you just come in there and stand? Why you got to come in there and be aggressively attacking people? And I feel like police officers go through the same training they take us as educators through. Non-violent restraints. It's easy to maintain a situation without even having to really put your hands on somebody. Like you said, turn around, sir. At this point, we have to put you under arrest. Give them a chance to turn around before you put your hands on people. And that's pretty much where I'm at with it. Like, yeah, he was wrong, but sometimes we can fix a situation without not being so aggressive. And that's what it was. They went from 0 to 10 within seconds. Mm-hmm. So that's it.
Thank you for the call. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep. Good. That's Mrs. Love being black. How could you not love that name? Appreciate her. So we see eye to eye. Like, two things can be true at the same time. One, the brother was on some foul stuff, allegedly, but we had warrants. Start talking too much. Like I say, you're not gonna talk yourself out of it. It is what it is. You caught now. You blew your deal. If you don't want to get caught by the police in a public spot and you got warrants, then don't go to public spots when you got warrants. It is what it is. I don't have no tears for that part. But I still think that the officers could have did something different. Like she said, they went from 0 to 1,500 just like that. After telling a man that you're not going to be under arrest, you're just being detained at this point. I don't think you had to go down like that. And so maybe the issue is that there's a difference between I'll say it again. As a conscious, responsible person, there's a lot of things that I can do that I won't do because I shouldn't do. Just because you can do something don't mean that you should do it in all cases. You know what I'm saying? Just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should do it. And same thing and that goes to a lot of people in authority and positions of influence and power, right? There might be a lot of things that you can do, but there might be some of that stuff that you shouldn't do just because it's not the right thing to do. And I would say the same thing with the officers, and we see it with police officers, primarily with black people. And that is they do whatever. They go way past what they could do. Well, they go way past, they do the absolute most in terms of what they can do when it comes to us. Instead of using distraction and thinking more about what they should do. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, guy?
What up?
It's Hacksaw Jim Thuggin here.
What's up, Hacksaw?
Yeah. Can I be honest about dude up in Springdale? The first cop's patience caused this. Because when he walks in, first time he sees him, he's committing a crime, walking out of the girl's bathroom. Aggressively behind that woman. It's like, I didn't like what I saw there. He should have stopped him right there and and could have, smashed all his den. But dude made there's 206 mistakes that this guy made when you're watching this video. And somebody said it best early. I don't remember the person's name. They're new to me. This is exactly what you do not do when you get accosted by police. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I don't want to hear that stuff about how he might be mental and whatnot. He appears to be functioning to me. Just don't know when to shut the hell up. The cop gave, because he was going down. He knew it too. That's why he didn't have his license in his wallet. You know what I'm saying? So he could give a fake name. They couldn't find his wallet or his ID or whatever. He's a fairly functioning guy. If he got mental problems, they're not keeping him from living a normal life. So all that stuff is I'm not hearing it. And nobody's caping for police brutality. Just shut the hell up. You know you're wrong. Not only did you hit that woman, you followed her into the bathroom. You come out tailing her aggressively. As soon as she sees the cop, she runs behind him and says, "Get him." You should have shut up then. You knew you was going down. So all this other stuff, all this other conjecture and excuses for the guy are unnecessary. Now he might, and he's on the ground. They said he's hitting his head. I couldn't see that, but I clearly saw him kicking officers. We can't continue to water down the argument of police brutality with every arrest that goes left. Some of this, you got to be an adult about it. I don't know how old is the guy? Have they said?
I don't know how old he is. Hacksaw Jim Thuggin.
Oh, okay. I mean, he's 20-something. He doesn't look to be older than 25, but he's screaming for his mom. Like, that was embarrassing. That fit every black male stereotype that ever lived. There was a wrestler based on that behavior. You remember Sheldon Benjamin? The wrestler?
Sheldon Benjamin. No, I don't.
There was some big stocky black dude, and Thea Vidal was his mom. She always came to the ring in a bonnet and house slippers, looking like the lady from Tom and Jerry. You know what I'm saying? It's like, "Mama, mama." That's what he would do when he would get when somebody would body slam me, "Mama," that type of thing.
Hold
I was like, "Oh, bro, I know
you
you."
Sheldon Benjamin right now. This is hilarious.
It's like, bro, I know you didn't just do that. You know what I'm saying? You got your mom on the phone. She probably know you whooped her. She probably know you put hands on the girl and trying to keep her from calling the cops on you. The whole situation was jacked up from the beginning. You should have, I can't add much more to it. Even Glenn, you know what I'm saying? Even my man Glenn out, I think he thinks me and him are real enemies or something. Some of his reactions to me is Glenn, we're not, you ain't got to be up in Mason peeking around corners. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's coming to see you. I love you, brother. Chill out. But yeah, I mean, he's spitting facts on it. You know what I'm saying? Dude, quit making excuses for this guy. He didn't handle the encounter the proper way. And he got his weave split as a result. Sometimes you got to just realize, I effed up. This is, I'm going to have to sit down for a couple days down here because it's the weekend. I might not get out and just handle it. Because truth be told, once the police put you in cuffs or try to arrest you, if you really think about it, the law's now in your favor because they've got to deliver you unscathed. And if you got marks, bruises on you, they got to explain what happened and they got to justify it. But when we got a body cam video seeing you kicking police, going berserk, that's all the gray area that they usually need. So, but that's all I got, B. It's been real. I had fun, and I'll talk to you soon, B.
I heard a wolf. That's Hacksaw Jim Thuggin. Appreciate you, Hacksaw. With the reference to the wrestling world. Sheldon Benjamin, that's his mama right there. What the hell? Oh my gosh. It's a good thing I got out of wrestling. Hey, what's up, Tiffany Daniels? How you doing? She writes, if he's acting like that in public, can you imagine what he's doing in private? Good point. Good point. Tiffany is the host of the Community Connector podcast. If you've missed any of those episodes, find her on Facebook. Make sure you follow her, and then check out the live streams on her page and on the Send Digital Media page. We're just getting started. Good morning to you. Good morning. Glenn writes, here we go with the whataboutism. So this morning, primarily, we've been talking about this brother right here who was arrested by Springdale police. My question for you was real simple. Was it justified? Were the officers' actions justified? So at some point, this brother thinks he's going to talk his way out of it. It doesn't really go that way. And then he ends up getting arrested. And I would say it was a rough arrest. What's up, OJ? He writes, good morning, Nathan and Choppers. It's TWE, the Wellburn Experience. Brian writes, I have two issues. What the young man did and what the cops did. How can intelligent people not understand nuance? You dirty, so F what happens to you, question mark. Is that how we doing things, question marks? You got us in pocket. Nobody is arguing against a woman responding defensively to the domestic violence. The point is cops need to be held accountable, period. It's the conservatism in black people. It's showing how this system programs us. Police get no benefit of the doubt from me. Do your effing job right. You have guns and the law on your side. What do you think? Let's go to the phones. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Morning, Nate. It's Kevin on sale.
What up, Kev on the sale? Good morning to you, brother. Welcome.
Thank you. So first off, man, you know why the man was yelling out for his mom on the phone, man? Mom, they about to arrest me. Be on your way. That's really what he was doing. You know what I mean? Because he's going to the ground. He understands what's happening. And anybody that, you know, kind of grew up in situations like that knows that if you got somebody on the phone and you screaming out to them, you tell them, that, you know, without saying like, look, they arrested me right now, that they're about to arrest me. The other part to that too, man, like, so the man still has rights, man. You know what I mean? Like, is he wrong? Yes. He knows he's got a warrant. There's no question that he knows he's got a warrant. Whether he's got mental, you know, whether he's got issues, I'm not gonna say mental issues. Whether he got issues or not, he knows that he's got warrants. If you know you got warrants and somebody's coming up, you're confronted by a police officer, it's a high likelihood that you're going to jail. So yeah, you're gonna make up some stuff. But there's some things, man, like, you know, people are saying stuff. You don't have to know your social security number. A lot of people know their social security number, but there's no law. It's not written somewhere like you got to have your social security memorized. That's just something people do. And, you know, but there's no law to it. It's not a rule. What's your social security number? I don't know. Find my card. So, I mean, it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. What I'm worried about is this. I got a false warrant on my record. It was a case of mistaken identity. The young lady lied, like you said, you know what I'm saying? Because that's happened in it wouldn't be the first time that's happened. Or you know, and this one's hard, but you know, he was struck, and so he struck back, and he got caught in that kind of situation. You shouldn't hit women. I agree to that. Men are generally stronger. However, there is a Layla Ali out there, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't know if I could take her. So you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of it's a complex issue, and we a lot of times we take these issues and we just drum them down to our normal, and it's not always our normal. You know what I mean? Sometimes there really is another side to the story. In this case, he's wrong. Yes, absolutely, positively. But the question in my mind is, do the cops know that? Because you know that, and I know that today, after the fact, right? We know that he put his hands on that one. Well, all of that stuff based on and even some of that is even based on conjecture if you think about it, because it's not like real evidence. You know what I'm saying? And so even that is some of that is even speculation. I am here to tell you that the man's rights are his rights. If that was a brother from another mother, somebody of the Caucasian persuasion, that would not have been the outcome. That is not what they would have done, more than likely. Generally, what they would have done is said, now look here, sir, we just want to get to the bottom of this. We can work it all out. We'll either have to go down to the station or we're going to recite you to court or whatever. And the guy would have been like, I know my rights and you can't do this to me. You know what I'm saying? Because we see those videos all the time. That's the reason why I had to turn off cops. I could not take not one more time ever seeing a black man thrown to the ground and the other man standing there talking about some, I know my rights and you can't touch me. And the people complying with him. How's that work? How do you got the police officers complying with the person being arrested? So I miss me with all that, we know for a fact this, and that. No, we don't. You don't know that. The outcome of this situation is this way. And yes, he paints the picture bad for all of us that given the same situation, but facts being in reverse, we're going to get the same treatment as he got because you being a dummy. Man, listen, this boils my blood. And to see, anybody that tells me that they want to see black folks arrested and they happy to see this happen, I got a problem with you. I'll tell you that out front because this hurts my stomach to the core. I'm sickened to the core to see one of our people, any of our people, arrested, period. Whether you right or wrong, especially if you don't know no better. I don't want to see you arrested. That's not my life. I don't enjoy seeing people put in handcuffs and their rights taken away from them, ever. And really not even just for our people, for any people. You should know better. You should do better. But there's no joy or satisfaction. I don't get no glee out of that. That's not good. That's not a good look. That's all I got, man. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Always going to be what it is.
All right, brother. Appreciate you. That's Kev on the cell. He went in. Appreciate you. We'll rack them too. All good calls this morning. 513-873-7134. I think we were getting a call right when he was on. If you try to call in, then that was me to cut you off just so we don't hear the beeping sound. Call me right back at 513-873-7134 and I'll put you straight on. Good morning to you. Let me see. Brian writes, yeah, let's try to understand the perspectives of these people employed by a racist institution. Good job. Tracy writes, why are we having a hard time comprehending him going into the stall? Sean writes, I've been in this situation where a few cops had their guns pulled out on me. I managed myself by using the emotional intelligence and the words my father taught me when it comes to engaging law enforcement. I am here today with no charges. Now doing these things does not mean you will save your life, but I believe it can help. Let me see here. What's up, everybody? Can see a lot of good people in the room this morning. Toy writes, the issue for me that I would press at a hearing is when he comes out of the stall, his hands were up and he's on the video call. That minimizes any potential threat, which warrants use of force. Many bad facts on both sides, and he has to be under arrest to resist. Officers always blur the point of detention and actual arrest to justify how they responded. Toy, excellent thoughts. Again, that makes perfect sense to me, right? Like I said, I mean, the officers went from 0 to 1,500 just like that. After the first officer told this man, like, look, when my partner comes, we're going to talk it out and figure out this. I'm going to talk to you. He's going to talk to her. We're going to figure it out. He didn't say, when my partner gets here, you're going to have to get down on the ground. I'm going to arrest you. To her point, when he came out the stall, his hands were up, clearly showing his palms. Like, look, I didn't go in there and get a weapon. Like I said, I think it's rules to the game, even when you are suspected of committing a crime, especially when you're suspected of committing a crime, folks. Because like I told you, those degrees of separation between who's a suspect is so short. That's a very short distance between what happened to this brother and something that can happen to you. So what am I talking about? What I'm talking about is somebody called, and when he arrived, he got confirmation from what appeared to be a victim. You could be walking through the store and somebody could call on you. Unbeknownst to you, they could be mistaken identity. It was him. And then when the police show up, should they treat you the same way they treated him? You're not under arrest. I'm just going to box you in so you can't go anywhere. Like, what do you mean? You're just detained until my buddy gets here. When the buddy gets here, the partner gets there, his partner tackles you after telling you to immediately, screaming at you to get on the ground inside the bathroom. That like I said, one does not necessarily equal the other. I don't think anything's going to happen to these officers. We're talking about Springdale. The police chief has already said there's some kind of preliminary investigation, but he's already come out in the media and said that he agreed with everything they did. So how far is any investigation into any possible wrongdoing from the officers really going to go? How far is it really going to go? Rachel writes, how does the police know about the man's mental illness for a potential domestic violence call? The mental illness should be used by his lawyer to clear him if it's true. I'm with you on that. Nat writes, we need to reimagine the whole damn thing. I agree. I added the damn part. Roy's in the house, writes, good morning, everyone. Good to see you, Roy. Ronald writes, you cannot resist if you aren't under arrest. That would be a bogus charge. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. Glenn writes, you think all this started with a lie and it went left from there. He writes, just think no, this didn't start with a lie, Glenn. This started when the brother got the charges and didn't take care of them in a timely manner. That's when this started. Because see, if he knew he didn't have a warrant, I think he would have acted differently when the police rolled up. Let Big Uncle Nate school you. In a situation like that, boys roll up on you, give them as little information as possible. Give them as little information as possible. Keep your mouth closed and let the process happen. You're not going to talk your way out of it. You're not going to talk your way out of what's about to happen. You're not going to talk your way out of the time you're about to spend going through the process, maybe sitting in a lockup facility. All of that is going to happen. What happens next is based upon what you do in a moment. How quickly you go home, how many charges you have, what is you're going to be for this process. Are you going to have to get a lawyer? What kind of lawyer? How many times in charge are you going to have to deal with? I mean, you got to think about it in that moment. Is what you're going to do going to make it better for yourself or harder for yourself once you deal with this process that's in front of you? So no, I think his mistake was when he got the warrant and he didn't deal with it. That was his first mistake. You get a warrant, deal with it as quickly as possible, fellas. His next mistake was getting a warrant and then going out in public. You want to go to Sky Zone. Bad deal. And then the third mistake was you got a warrant. You decide to go with your warrant to a public space. And then you want to get into a domestic violence situation with your lady friend. That's what his mistake was. His lies in the moment was, I mean, at that point, it was done. You know what I'm saying? That's what his mistake was. You did the first two things wrong. And then on top of that, you decide to cause a confrontation or a situation in public and you know you got a warrant. That's what the problem was. Hey, Marcia, how you doing? Good to see you. You are one of the winners of the, you're one of the second prize winners of the mystery history. So I'll be in contact as soon as the show is open over today to make sure you get that. So how you can redeem your winnings. Shout out to the people at imgbat.com. Appreciate them for sponsoring Mystery History. Let's play some more. Let's play some more. I'm down with it. And if you haven't already done so, just take a second. There's a description in today's link. It'll take you straight to their website. Go to their website. Tell me what you think. Hit me with a direct message and tell me what you think about what they have to offer. Iris writes, he never had time to get in the ground. The police never said you're under arrest. Why couldn't they arrest him standing up? I'm just reading this, Sister Iris. Exactly. There isn't a human being in America. I take that back. The vast majority of human beings, if you're in that exact same situation with that, and as he was in, and a second officer comes in and says, get on the ground, you're going to say the same thing. For what? For what? You're going to say the same thing. For what? Because if you're thinking like me, you're thinking, well, if we're going to do this, just put the cuffs on me and we can walk out to the, because at some point I got to stand up and walk out to the car. So let's just cut out the middleman. I'm already standing. Why sit down just to stand back up? See, that's some of that. I'm going to make you my boy type of stuff. I'm going to son you and all the power dynamics. That's all that is. Every last one of you would have said the same thing to the officer. Why? And then what did the officer do? He didn't explain it. He came in and tried to tackle the guy. And y'all think that's justified? I don't. Because, and think about this, family. If they can do that to him in Springdale, then you can just be walking through the mall and they can tackle you. Don't think that because you didn't do anything, or because you don't live in Springdale, or because you would have done something differently, that the same thing couldn't have happened to you. The first officer told the young man, look, when my partner gets here, we're going to talk. But that's not what happened. The partner showed up and said, get on the ground and start tackling people. And these officers kill me how they bark a command, but they don't give you enough time to actually do the command before they want to put their hands on you. It all becomes just like a qualifier. Well, I said it. I could put that in my report. I asked him to get on the ground. And then 0.5 seconds later, I was tackling him. TNT writes, he had a phone in one hand, the other hand raised, resisting. We not allowed to ask why. There was nothing resisting. I didn't see a resisting of arrest. Hey, good morning, Ashley. She writes facts. Kevin writes, right or wrong, it pisses me off and gives me anxiety to see our people arrested, period. Wish he hadn't have put himself in that situation. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Don't put yourself in harm's way. Be smart about it. Danita writes, the first officer didn't have all the information. The first officer was trying to figure out what was going on. The second officer knew he had warrants and came ready to go. Officer Tackleberry wasn't listening. Tackleberry wasn't listening to Ish. He was going to jail. Anthony writes, you are not putting your hands behind your back when being arrested. If you are not putting your hands behind your back when being arrested, you are resisting arrest. The same was out on the street, face down, legs crossed. That makes it harder for a person to make any quick moves. Dude had already shown his unwillingness to comply. Yo writes, I'm trying to look at it both ways. When he went in the bathroom stall and slammed the door, unfortunately, we don't know if dude has some loud on him and tried to flush it. I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, they're still catching people for that. They're still doing that whole thing over some loud. So this was posted at 2:29 a.m. yesterday. As chief of police, I felt the need to respond to the misleading accounts I have seen today. I am presenting the facts of what occurred at Sky Zone on Springdale on February 26, 2021. I will not stand silent while our officers are being verbally abused, assaulted, or injured by criminal suspects, nor have them be derided through social media. Delrico Oliver, that's his real name, was a wanted felon and was a wanted felon. Okay. and was allegedly acting in a threatening manner that gave his female companion enough concern to call the police. Correctamundo on all of that. You have to check it out for yourself. Go over to Springdale, Ohio Police, Springdale OH Police Department. You can read it for yourself. I won't go all into the details with it. Let's just say all that information is right there for you if you're interested. Okay. Speaking of police, there's something else I want to talk about. Something else I want to talk about that I saw that was posted online, and I thought it was just an excellent point. Let me put my hands on that particular article, and then we can talk about it. Okay. And this has to do with police and high-speed chases and marijuana. And I'm like, really? We gonna put ourselves and people in harm's way over some damn plants? We're going to do this over some plants. Oh, thank you so much, Crystal. Appreciate it. We're going to do this over plants. That's what we're doing right now. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this article with the quicks. And then we have to talk about this because, I mean, this is just, oh, yes, it's looking good. Love it. Yvette Simpson shining out there, looking good. Okay, so while I'm looking for that, did anybody, man, that Melanie Bay story. So a couple things. You got to check it out for yourself. The Is It Just Me podcast was back and live on Friday. Donnie B, she took a swing at it as well and shared her opinion about the whole school board Bates Gate. Is that what they're calling it? Bates Gate, which I thought was kind of interesting. Check it out. The podcast is up right now on her Facebook page, Sin Digital Media. If you haven't already seen it, it's well worth your time. Okay, make sure you check that out. I know the Inquirer, they did a piece about it and gave Melanie Bates a thumbs down for, what she had to say. I thought it was quite interesting. And then on Twitter, Melanie Bates got backup. Melanie Bates, warrior princess. She's a warrior in the eyes of Jason Williams. He wrote the most ridiculous column in which basically he was trying to make Melanie Bates to be some type of hero fighting against the evil teachers union, right? The evil teachers union. You can't trust those unions. This evil teachers union, they want to force the schools to, provide vaccines for teachers before they go back to in-person learning. Evil of them. Got to stop that evil. And it was just like a love affair from Jason Williams. And then I saw that a member of city council took a picture with Melanie Bates and then posted the picture like on her Twitter page. Y'all see this? I thought that was odd. I'm like, oh snap. But I guess people are like trying to come to Melanie's. And see, this is why we can't get rid of bad actors. I'm not trying to say I think that Melanie H is like some bad actor, but this is the reason why we can't get rid of bad actors in Cincinnati, because other Cincinnatians come in and start caping. Y'all say this? Y'all see this? Yeah. She took a picture with her homegirl. Like, she got support out here from a member of city council. Can you imagine? Can you guess what member of city council is caping for Melanie Bates? Did y'all see that? I thought it was quite interesting. Melanie, let's take a picture. Let's take a Ussie, sis, and we'll put it online, and people will know that you've got support out here. You've got the support. Anybody know? Do y'all see this? You tell me. You tell me what you think. Oh boy, the choppers are chopping it up this morning. Anthony writes, how can you say on one hand, don't put yourself in that situation, then say the cops went wrong? Does not compute. It does compute, Anthony. It does. It does compute. I think the brother put himself in a bad situation by not taking care of his legal business before he went out and went to Sky Zone. I think the brother put himself in a bad situation when he decided to allegedly to threaten a woman. I think those are Gilligan moves. But that doesn't mean that the cops can do anything to you. They can treat you any old kind of way, that they can break their procedures, that they can violate your rights. Like, even people who've been accused of crimes have rights, and we need to understand that. That's part of the problem. We think, especially black people, we've been conditioned to believe that when somebody black break the rules or do something, oh, Lord, oh, we tried to spare you. Now Massa gonna whoop you. And whatever yous get, yous deserve. Like some black people really believe that. They really believe that. I don't believe that. Not at all. Not one bit. Crystal was right. It was Bessie Sunderman. Bessie Sunderman took a picture. Let me see if I can find this and I'll screenshot it for you. Bessie Sunderman took a picture. Here it is. Here's the picture she took with Melanie Bates. How many redheads does it take to open CPS schools? 2. Great meeting with Melanie Bates this morning at Block Coffee. We will both keep fighting for our Cincinnati students and families. Hashtag redheads, hashtag girl power, hashtag open schools. What in the hell? Y'all need to get her the hell up out of city council. You know what I'm saying? Melanie Bates, she got to go. She got to go. What we out here doing? Let me see if I can put this on the screen for you. Look at it. There it is. You thought I was making that up? No. How many redheads does it take to open CPS schools? What the fuck? What? What? Clayton Adams, man, he had the best, the best. Shout out to Clayton Adams. Clayton Adams had the best response on that thread. He wrote, replying to it, vote Sunderman, 99% of CPS schools are open. Both of you are professional victims. Imagine complaining about a problem that doesn't exist. I had to like that. Yeah, Betsy. 99% of it's probably higher than that. There's only one school. Every other school is back. What in the hell is Betsy Sunderman talking about? She needs to stay in her lane, sis. Whatever fuck lane that is. And Clayton is right. She is acting like a victim. She acting like she been victimized by corruption. This is how I know Betsy Sunderman doesn't need to be on city council, because she don't have nothing to fucking offer at all. The only thing she offers so far is some whole anti-corruption ideas. That's easy now, Melanie. Anybody can do that. Oh, the way people perceive city council. Oh, you made it so hard for me. I'm on council now, and people are asking me if I'm corrupt. Well, if you don't like it, leave. Look at this, Ish. Where is Jason Williams? You got Jason. Matter of fact, the more I think about it, somebody sent me a meme with it was Jason Williams, Bessie Sunderman, and Melanie Bates all together on some Xena Warrior Princess type ish. Let me see if I can find it. It is hilarious. Clayton killed it, man. Great point. Great point, Clayton. That's exactly what they're doing. Oh, woe is me. I was talking ish about my constituents and they found out. Oh, woe is me. And see, listen, like if this costs me future, guests on the show, then so fucking be it. But this says something to me that Melanie Bates is out here taking ussies with Bessie Sunderman. Like, oh yeah, give me some support here, right? Instead of apologizing for what she said. That's the only thing she should have done. Apologize and then make a decision about whether you're going to stay on school board or not. But in Cincinnati, this is the Cincinnati way. Like I said, we got some people. They're slowly aging out. But we still got some people in critical positions that are retarding our growth. They need to go. They need to go. And Melanie Bates appears to be one of them. Like, what is she going to do to make this up to us? Somebody named Emmy writes, just a loud and proud reminder to this Confusing tweet, FYI, CPS schools have been open all year with many auxiliary teachers like me teaching in person all year, even more challenging. Bessie Sunderman don't even know what the hell she's talking about. How many redheads does it take to open CPS schools? What in the does that even mean? We will both be fighting for our Cincinnati students and families. Who? What? What? Girl power. This is what you want to expend girl on? Oh, dear Lord, we are living in the last days of common sense. I'll say it again. Let's go back to the phones. Let's say good morning and welcome to the show. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, comrade.
Hey, good morning. Welcome.
Thank you. Hey, listen, I just got a little bit of a flow on Melody Bates. Look, Melody Bates, I ain't never voted for Melody Bates before. In the last 20 years, she's been on school board. But guess what? This year, I'm voting for her. She's going to get one of my votes. Because all she did, even though she got caught on tape on a hot mic, all right, all she did was say what everybody was thinking. And the teachers' unions and all these other, bleeding heart people want to jump on her case for speaking the truth. And so all you all keep doing is the school board races, just like city council race. As long as you can say her name 25,000 times, man, she ain't caring about that. Keep saying her name. She's going to get, and charters behind her too, with the Democrats and Republicans being in such a disarray here in the city of Cincinnati, and she's getting endorsed by charter, and she's out here speaking the truth. That's what everybody wants out of their politicians. You ain't got to agree with Melanie Bates 100%, but when she's speaking truth, then people want to bash her. I'm all on board with Melanie Bates on how people forget she got a daughter with the Wanda Hills. She know how these Wanda Hills parents are. She was one of them. Melanie Bates got my utmost respect. She said some stuff that was truthful. She ain't got to say on the floor. She's on tape saying it. Hey, sorry for you. Beat her at the ballot box. If you don't like it, beat her at the ballot box. For me, Black Rush is going to be out here helping Melanie Bates because she spoke some truth. Y'all can hate it all you want. Beat her at the ballot box. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, thanks for making the call. Why am I not surprised by that? So you had nothing to say, but this is the dude that's going to quantify blackness and who is black and who's not black, and that's that dude. So let me get it straight. When the sister Yvette Simpson was running for mayor, you had nothing but negative things to say about her. You had nothing positive to say about that sister whatsoever. You're trying to tear her down on all levels. You're trying to tear apart her intelligence. You're trying to tear apart who she dates. Like, you got super personal with this sister, Yvette Simpson. But now you gonna stump for Melanie Bates. When you said, she said what everybody was thinking, who is everybody? Exactly. Everybody like who? She told the truth. What truth? What in the fuck are you talking about? But you're the arbiter of blackness in Cincinnati now. Get the hell out of here. What is that black man talking about? Now, you're entitled to your opinion about Melanie. That's how you feel. But I mean, it's for me to bring all these things together. And I'll be here, and this tape will be here too. And people gonna hear it right around election time. They're gonna get a reminder. Like, oh, we almost forgot what Melanie Bates said. I'm not gonna let you forget. I don't want you to forget anybody what anybody said. I got all the tapes. You think they're not gonna come back up again? It's nothing like, I don't know, a videotape to make people remind people about what happened. So people have to make their own decision. I'm not telling people to vote one way or the other about Melanie Bates. I mean, she showed us who she is and what she feel about, how she feel about it, and what she all about. It is what it. Make your decision. But come on, brother. Talking about you gonna vote for Melanie Bates. Well, you do that. You go ahead and do that. You vote for Melanie Bates. You go right ahead. Nobody's gonna stop you. You go right ahead. Oh my God, that is hilarious. Redheads gotta stick together. If you don't sit your ass down, Betsy Sunderman, why did you do that Hamilton County party? This is who you put on city council? So we can hear more dumb-ish? It is what it is. Tomorrow, I've been fighting for our kids and parents and will continue to do so. Yeah, sure you have. Jason Williams writes, someone has to take up for Cincinnati's children. Who else wants to join school board member Melanie Bates? Parents Alex Quint. What? The open, I mean, this is just all selectiveness. So now Jason Williams, they've got something called Open Cincinnati Public Schools Movement. Go sit. The schools are already open. What? Bessie Summer says, she wrote this on February 27th. I'll be on 700 WOW tonight at 10:05 to talk with Jason Williams about CPS, charter amendments, and other issues facing our city. Tune in. Like I said, Bessie Sunderman has shown us what she's all about and who she's. I wouldn't vote for either one of them ass. I could never vote for either one of them, actually. I'm just going to tell you about how me. At this point right now, when it comes to Melanie Bates, there is no way in hell I would vote for Melanie Bates for school board. I don't care what she's done. At this point, this pandemic has shown us who you are and what you all about. And Melanie Bates is about Melanie Bates. That's what I believe what I was told by these parents. After just looking to have her interview Melanie Bates and just watching about how all this has been coming down. Melanie Bates is on some, I'm here, whatever, you don't like it, deal with it. Like I said, you can't lie to grown people. I'm too old to be lied to about these kind of things when it comes to human nature. And what I mean by that is when you alone with your friends and you drinking, that's who you really are. So she showed us. She has contempt for parents. She don't care about the health of family members at home. She has issues with her colleagues. She might have a drinking problem. Just saying. I mean, who out here has had just a half a beer and can't remember what they said? You don't get to that level until you have many, many beers. Many beers. What are those many beers? So please stop it. Black or Russian talking about something. I'm going to vote for Melanie Bates. Will you do that? You want to take your little vote? You're going to vote for Melanie Bates? You go right ahead and you do that. That is hilarious. Oh, man. Glenn writes, somebody please ask Melanie Bates her social security number after 2 beers. Oh, man. Hey, good morning to you, Carol. Carol writes, Faith and Community Alliance. Okay, I'll check that out. Danita writes, Melanie Bates isn't going anywhere. Look at the news sites, Facebook pages. People are defending her, saying exactly what he just said. Melanie Bates is only telling the truth and saying what people think. People want the schools open. People want the schools open and with kids in school face to face. After this, she may be the next board president because people are fired up for her. Oh, really? Damn, that'll be sad. Like if everything you just said is true, then shame on Cincinnati. We get what we get. That'll be a damn shame. Let me see here. People are Bates is only telling the truth and saying what people think. Okay, so how many people in here believe that? How many people in here, raise your hand if you think the same way that Melanie Bates thinks. Like if you feel that way, you feel that way. Like how many people believe that the teachers are just whining and that they really don't want to teach the kids? They really just want to stay at the school and get paid for doing the same work anyway, actually probably more difficult. But how many people out there think, let's go back over what we know Melanie Bates said. And then you tell me if you agree with that, because I guess I'm in my own little bubble, but the people around me don't think the way Melanie Bates thinks. I don't think the way Melanie Bates thinks. So for me personally, I never thought that the teachers were whiners who make 70, 80. I don't care if they make $100,000 a year. I never thought that at all. If anything, I thought that the parents were complaining too much, right? Remember we had those conversations and I told you it was the parents' responsibility, and people called in was like, no, it's the community and all this other kind of stuff. No, it's the parents' responsibility. And I've consistently called out the whining, complaining parents. So no, I never thought that way. If you did, you did. I mean, I'm just curious. So let's put this to bed. This whole idea that Melanie Bates is just saying what people think is some of that Donald Trumpism, I ain't going for it. I don't believe that at all. I've seen no evidence of that whatsoever. In fact, I've talked with teachers, and what I've gotten from teachers is that teachers wanted to go back and teach. They want to go back to the way things were before COVID. That's overwhelmingly what I've gotten from conversations with teachers, but they're concerned about health issues during the pandemic. So I just like to know, let's put this to bed. I mean, did Melanie Bates just speak your truth? She certainly didn't speak my truth. Speaking for myself, what else did Melanie Bates say allegedly? She allegedly said that she don't give a damn about the grandmothers and the grandfathers, as in she doesn't care, and she was ridiculing and minimizing the threat of children who might be asymptomatic, meaning they've got COVID, but they're not experiencing any visible symptoms. And they go home and they give it to their grandparents. And so if we extrapolate just a little bit to make the larger point, essentially the concern is that asymptomatic kids will go home and then give COVID to their parents, grandparents, adults who might be dealing with pre-existing conditions. Now, raise your hand if you agree with Melanie Bates and you don't care about that. Raise your hand if you don't care about that, and therefore you agree with Melanie Bates. I disagree with Melanie Bates 100% when she said that, allegedly. So no, Danita and Black Russia, I don't, again, speaking for myself, that's not what everybody is thinking. What else was allegedly said? Let me see, I've got my notes here. I can just go to that real quick. Hold on, because I can't remember everything. It's been a minute. Let me do it this way. Absolutely. Let me go to my notes here because I want to make sure, since we having this conversation, I want to have it all the way out so we don't have to go back to it no more. So I want to come to some consensus on this. Like, is this what people are thinking? If so, okay, cool. That's what you think. Okay, so I'm going back to my notes right now, and I'm looking at the hold on, give me 1 second. Yeah, so allegedly Melanie Bates said, I don't care about your grandma. Shut the fuck up and go remote. So is that how you feel about like grandparents and like people that might have pre-existing, underlying conditions? Because people are here trying to tell me that that's just the way everybody thinks. And I don't believe that. I don't believe that one bit. Oh, yeah. And she said something about Walnut Hills parents. So maybe that's what you're thinking about. So like people have some kind of feeling about Walnut Hills parents or whatever. She said something about these whining ass Walnut Hills parents. Like if you feel like that way, I definitely want to hear it. Like I am a Walnut Hills parent. And again, I just have different experiences, right? My experience is going to be a little something different than maybe your average parent at Walnut Hills. So I've got different opinions about it. But again, you tell me, is that how everybody thinks? So everybody thinks the way Melanie Bates thinks, at least the way she got caught on there. And then rather than owning it, what did she say on these airwaves? Or let me listen to it first and I'll tell you what I said. Huh? What? And instead of just doubling down and just saying, listen, I apologize, I was wrong. No, she wants to talk about some kind of legal action, which is never going to happen. It's going to be a waste of her money. Save your money, sis. You ain't about to win no cases on that. And talking about how wrong it was for you as an elected official because you talking loud in a bar during a pandemic and you talking slick and greasy and you're upset because somebody videotapes you. I think the Inquirer got it wrong. I read a piece in which they said that They gave Melanie Bates a thumbs down, but they said that it was kind of shady for her to be recorded. I do not think it was shady for her to be recorded one bit. There was nothing shady about that. You are living in the digital age. My style is different. See, I'm the dude that'll just put it right there on your face and say, I'm recording this so everybody knows. That's my style. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's different. But if you're talking slick and greasy and you're talking about children and you're talking about people and you're talking about health, then that's why God gave you the whisper. God gave her a whisper voice. She could have been talking like this, but no, she going big time it. So you tell me, I don't know what they talking about, Danita. I disagree with you when you say that's what everybody else was thinking. I don't agree with that at all. Now, as to the Cincinnati way, you're right. The Cincinnati way is people will get outraged at Melanie Bates, and then something will happen between now and then and fall back in love, and then she'll be reelected. That is the Cincinnati way. And if that happens, it happens. It's what the people want. It's what the people want. Danita writes, what is going to help her with some people is her remarks were directed at Walnut Hills and not CPS parents in general. People are sick of two things, CFT and perceived privileged. People are sick of two things. I definitely agree with you. And again, I blame the board for this, that there is this perception out there that Walnut Hills was treated differently. You know how I feel about this. I've already told you what the real deal is. And then, people can have perception of privilege, even though it's not be true. But I hear you. So I'm not sure if those are the two things that people are sick of. But I do agree with you in terms of like the non-Walnut Hills population will be like, oh yeah, there's an element of truth in that. But again, ignorance is a beautiful thing. It's bliss, and it also keeps people in bondage. So, people can think what they want to think. That's why I'm here to keep it real with you. As a Walnut Hills parent. Glenn Rice, Melanie Bates, and John Wayne. Glenn Rice, I dance for Melanie. Dancing for Melanie. Danita writes, exactly. You don't see the pulse of people on this issue. Check out news sites, Facebook pages, and the political Cincinnati FP pages. Well, I'm in a lot of those groups, and I do see it all. What am I missing? What am I missing exactly? Let me see. TNT writes, very insensitive and insulting. Greg writes, are you saying, Nate, it's the parents' responsibility to keep kids safe? Yes, I agree with that. But if they let kids go to school in person and the school can only keep them 3 feet apart, not 6 feet apart, is that keeping them safe? No. These were the concerns that Bates made light of. Yeah, I think that Bates was wrong. I told her that. Mary writes, this is who Melanie Bates decided to stand with in public. Sunderman is a MAGA supporter. Mary, thank you for making that point. That's the other issue is look at who, of all the people in Cincinnati, that Melanie Bates decided to align herself with and take a selfie with as if that was going to build her some good public review. Look at it. Look at it. I mean, that says something. That says something. Who's going to be the first black person to take a picture with Melanie Bates? Like, hey, I'm going to lend I want to help you out, sis. Danita writes, people listen to the show may not agree with her, but there are a large number of people who do. Well, I mean, there's a large number of people that believe that the world is flat, Danita. So what? There's a large group of people out there that believe the world is flat and will argue with you until the end of the earth. So what? Big deal. I'm not worried about them folks. I'm only worried about the people that's here. And I want to know what the people that's here think. There's always going to be a large number of people that can believe anything. You know what I'm saying? There's a large number of people that don't believe that the CIA funneled crack into our neighborhoods. Oh, absolutely. It's hilarious. Hilarious. So you tell me. Dee Dee writes, What people should do is play these statements to Walnut Hills parents during the election cycle, to inner city schools where people care about their grandmas, at the polls, hand out the quotes, shaking my head. Right. Thank you, DD. They out here acting like none of that can't be done. We ain't even gotten to the school board election system. Wait until you start doing those forums. You better believe it's going to come up. You better believe it. Because there isn't anyone who is moderating a school board debate and you don't bring this up, you're not worth your weight in salt. You're not doing your job. And it's not to say that this should be the only issue, but this should be an issue. Like I told you, this crisis called COVID has given us a window to view this so-called leadership. And if we don't use that and factor that into our decisions, then we's damn fools. Simple as that. It should be a factor as in all the other issues. It's just one more thing. Maurice writes, where is black leadership at calling for base to resign? NAACP, Urban League, CAA, etc. CPS is largely minority and being underserved already. I am sure at some point they all supported her during past elections. Brian writes, people are sick of CFT, no pro-union. Yeah, I don't know where Danita was getting that at. Nobody's sick of I've not heard that at all, Danita. People are sick of CFT. What they try to do? I don't know. They tried a legal injunction to keep all our kids safe. That's all I see them doing. Again, people want to make this into some kind of anti-union crusade. And that's Jason Williams and the other political actors out there. They want to make this into some kind of union thing because that's the only way they think they can win the argument. When the argument is about logic and science and health, they lose every single time. So that's the reason why Jason Williams wants to create a whole new lens that we're supposed to view this situation with Melanie Bates. Because the lens of common sense, decency, morality, respect and responsibility, all those lenses makes her look bad. So the only lens that he had to go out and create a whole new lens and try to cast her as some anti-union figure in order to make her look good. And it shows you just how bad she looks. It shows you just how bad she looks. This man out here making up whole new narratives. Oh, yeah, she didn't mean to be against the CFT. It just happened because she cares about the kids. Get the hell out of here. I was told that she cared more about her microdursion. I'm not sure what the word is. Micro something. Somebody help me out. It's like a facial microabrasion, I think it is. Is that what the procedure is done? That's what I was told by the couple that surreptitiously recorded her, was that, she was talking about taking vacations, getting facials. Literally. Y'all heard it. You've heard it here exclusively. Nobody cares more about CPS children than the parents of CPS. I'll say it again. Nobody in this world cares more about the students that attend these schools than the parents of the children that attend these schools. The people that work there, you don't care as much if your kids are not there. The people that work to support it, if you don't have no children there, you don't care as much. It's just a job to you. To us, it's life and death. So stop ishing on the parents. The parents have for far too long in CPS been a scapegoat for bad behavior. Talking about she was bullied. Don't get me started on this. See, you're getting me started on this, Danita. Black Russia. Don't get me started on this. Talking about they were bullied. Meanwhile, there was a kid who was really bullied, and CPS is spending tens of thousands of dollars a year to fight against a case in which they appear to be wrong, in which this boy was bullied and CPS officials did not properly let the mother know. And now the irony is just too much. And now you got a school board member who gets caught talking, as Fame would say, copyright claim, slick and greasy, And then she wants to talk about bullying. Meanwhile, you got kids that's getting bullied every day in CPS schools and nothing happens because the adults don't take it seriously. But we're supposed to take this seriously from an adult that just caught doing something wrong, saying some crazy stuff. This city is amazing. This city is absolutely amazing. And you got media that's going to let them off. I didn't hear the interview, but I'm sure Bessie Sonderman with Jason Williams, I'm sure it was a love fest. Just lips on hiney. I love you too. Well, I love you more. I love you more. I love you the most. You know, it's just lips on hiney. That's all it was. I bet it was. I haven't even heard it. I bet it was lips on hiney the whole time. The whole time. Kevin writes, face scraping. Is that what I said? I don't know. Microdermabrasion. Thank you. Thank you, Jerica. Jerica's rolling her eyes somewhere. I know I can see you already rolling your eyes. Like, you don't know this, Nate. You're supposed to be a smart guy. Greg Rice, did the family wait. Did the family? Greg Rice, did the family of the 8-year-old child who killed himself after getting bullied sue CPS? Yeah, Greg, where you been, man? Yes. Yes, they did. And then CPS started, putting up these legal challenges trying to get the case thrown out. And most recently, a federal judge said, or the judge around on who looked at the case, I think it was a 3-panel judge, actually. It was a 3-panel judge. And they all said, basically, that CPS should be embarrassed. Basically. I went through this for like a whole week. This is what's happening with your school system. People need to know this is happening right now. And Melanie Bates got the nerve to talk about bullying. How dare she? The woman has no shame. You're not being bullied, Melanie. You're being held accountable for the first time in your life, and you don't know how to deal with it. That's probably what happened. It's probably the first time anybody ever challenged her in local media for some dumb shit she said and wouldn't take, the okie doke route or the 700 WOW route, which is ask you softball questions and kiss hiney. In her whole career, and instead of just fessing up to it, it's everybody else's fault. I remember when I talked to Carolyn Jones, what was the phrase she was using, fam? She kept accusing me of doing something during the interview. And I'm like, what was she saying? She said it wasn't gotcha. It was like, she kept saying I was doing something to her in the interview. And I'm like, come on. I'm just asking you, I'm holding you accountable and asking you why you voted the way you voted and make it make sense. Glenn is hilarious, man. Come on, now. Melanie Bates got the tight white t-shirts in schmedium. Yeah, baiting. She was saying I was baiting her or something. I'm like, baiting you? How am I baiting you? Bait? This ain't no bait. This is full frontal commentary. I'm asking you straight up. And Carolyn started talking about, you're baiting me. No, I'm asking you what needs to be asked. They all need to go through media training. They all need to go through media training. Every last one. Every one of the board members I talked to would significantly benefit as an elected official going through some media training. Because it was not good. I was not happy. Kevin Rice, you petty his head with the copyright claim, Nate. No, I was saying for him. For him. Is Smitherman going to run as Republican like Jason Williams said? Probably. Graston writes, aka Black Russia writes, base is usually the lowest in fundraising, but keeps winning re-elections as a charter. What is that? Hashtag silent majority. Could be. Man, if she wins, she wins. Good for her, I guess. TNT writes, and going after the union is stupid too because the union is the people. I'm pro-union. We all should be so lucky. Yeah, Kevin writes, she said you were baiting. Yeah, she did. I was baiting her. You're baiting me, Nathan. How am I baiting you? Like, if I'm baiting you, then what's next? Show us. I'm like, you're baiting me. I'm like, baiting you? I talked to some folks after the interview. It was like Carolyn Jones was tripping, Nate. I don't know what she was talking about. But I was glad to see that when it came down to Walnut Hills, and I would have preferred for it to be district-wide, that they came to their senses and did what was right per the health for the students, for the teachers, for all the people involved in that school building. You know what I'm saying? I want my kid to be educated, but not at the expense of a teacher's life. And nah. Let me write damsel in distress. Listen, I got to make a move here. It is 10:29 a.m. I got to make a move, family. Have an excellent rest of your day. I really appreciate you. Means everything. Listen, hit the link in the description and download a free 142-page ebook from the good folks at Renew Community Church this morning. Start your 2021 off right. Try something different. Try something new. I'm sure you got goals. I'm all about goals. I'm sure you got things that you want to accomplish. I'm all about that. Then maybe a new focus is what you're looking for. So download the ebook today. There's a link in the description where you can go directly to their website. You also can get 30 minutes of free coaching as well from Charlie Winburn. And he is available to coach and share and leverage his life experiences. Man has been around the block and did a lot. Could be a benefit from you, or it could be a benefit for you. And again, try it out and then tell me what you think when you do. And there's a description, there's a link in the description today where you can find it and download for free. All right. Have an excellent rest of your day. Also, my friends over at Pinnacle Protection Agency, they're looking for professional camera, DVR, and alarm installers. This could be a new opportunity for someone out there or someone that you know. You can call them this morning at 506-5010. Again, that's 513-506-5010. Or you can send your resume to pinnacleprotectionagency.com. And if you got any alarm system needs, perhaps you want to get one of those cool like door bells and it's got the camera in there and you can communicate. Maybe you feel like you just need some surveillance around your house or your studio or your home or your office. Give them a call this morning. That's my friends over at Pinnacle Protection Agency. All right, check them out this morning. Means everything. Also, of course, today's show is brought to you by Team Wellburn, the Wellburn Experience. Wellburn, thewellburnexperience.com is their website. There's a link in the description of today's show. All right. Have an excellent rest of your day, family. I really appreciate you for being here. We'll be back and hopefully better than ever tomorrow morning, starting at 7:30 a.m. We'll chop it all the way up. I'm going to leave you with the jingle, then we'll end the show, okay? Have a great day, folks, and I'm out.
It's that well-born experience. It's that well-born experience. That well-born experience. 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 It's that well-born experience. Yeah, that well-born experience. Yeah, that well-born experience. Experience. Tell us what you need. That's the question we start with. We specialize selling condos, houses, apartments. Make sure that you're happy with your residence. Keep it real, no filter. Oh, that's the realtor from the nattiest heaven sent. It's the well-born experience, ain't nothing like it. Every time he talk to his client, he's so excited just knowing he able to put them in a place to lay their head, not focusing on his profits, but on the client instead. Right. He keeps it so professional and from his conversation. You can tell he studies before sharing information. Educated, motivated, ain't nobody better. Who's willing to walk you through every step to relieve the pressure? Yeah, and just so you know it's real, you get a special personalized rug once he closes the deal. So go and call him up so he can get you live. 513-252-1055.
Again, that's 513-252-1055. Have an excellent rest of your day, family. Until next time, I'm Nathan Ivey, and I'm out.